first stones over on Sheet D, but we're also getting ready to show you Sheet B. What is this? This is a B event semifinal. It is between the Stones of Steel. They're from the Pittsburgh Curling Club. They'll be curling in red. Ray Aceta, Jackie Temple, Sean Mazursky, and John Zawinski against Team Blue and Orange, who will be shooting yellow. They're from the Potomac Curling Club. Bob Purcell, Henrique Kempenik, Mike Kriz, and Michael Fry as the lead. They're shaking hands and getting everything set. We'll be live in just 1 second.
Calling the last draw on Saturday night. We call it like PCC after dark because the game rarely matters.
I'm Alan McNeil. I'll be bringing you Potomac After Dark play-by-play on the board. Michael Sell, and then also joining us as a special mystery guest. We're not telling you who he is. He's going to tell you himself.
Hello, this is Nick Datlow. I am your extra color After Dark.
Exactly. So, this is, as we said, a B event semifinal. These guys all lost their first game, and then they got better.
And then they keep winning, and now they're playing at 10-15, and they don't regret any of it.
No, they don't. And I will tell you, the Stones of Steel team, I played them in the first round game.
So you're the reason
I
they're
beat
here.
them. I beat them 11-1.
So they've picked their
They
game
got a
up
lot
somewhere.
better really fast. I mean, we were on sheet A.
Oh, that's
and
it's a magical mystery
I
sheet,
didn't
yeah.
earn an 11-1 victory. We were on sheet A.
Yeah.
And they're in
I just lost out on sheet A.
They're an arena. They're an arena club. They don't curl much. They don't have the opportunity to curl much. They weren't ready for our stones. They weren't ready for our ice. It went poorly for them.
Yeah.
Or it went really well for me, depending how you look at it. Although my reward was having to play Shaw, so I didn't really profit.
I mean, but maybe you will have the opportunity of losing to the winner.
It's entirely possible. I might be able to make a case that I'm the third best team in here. Not. Where? We got that. Because Henrique was giving us hand signals. It was kind of funny. And we're live, by the way.
Oh, perfect. We're live, and here I am.
We are live, and here you are. We have another game going on Sheet D. I'm going to be honest. I know nothing about it because I can't see the sheets.
There's a lot of Pittsburgh happening. So it's team.
It's
I
Team
believe there is
Schultz.
Roberts, but Schultz is their skip.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Yay for the fact that Nick Datlow knows more about the other games than I
Well,
do.
I saw a jersey that said Schultz, and I know that there is a common Team Schultz from Pittsburgh.
I've
Is that the
actually
team
played
that
with
calls
them
themselves Single Barrel, I believe?
Yes, that's right.
Awesome.
I have played with them before. They're fabulous people, and I wish them the best, although there are also some fantastic pants on Sheet D.
There are some fantastic fans. So this is a Pittsburgh death match on Sheet D? Is this what we're saying?
There's a lot of Pittsburgh happening right now.
It is entirely too much Pittsburgh.
I'm not sure if it's a death match.
But it is. These are death matches. Every match is a death match from here on out.
I mean, yes, but I'm not sure it's a Pittsburgh death match.
Is it Pittsburgh on Pittsburgh?
I don't know. Pittsburgh.
I don't think it is.
It's not Pittsburgh on Pittsburgh? Okay, then it's not a Pittsburgh death match. Okay, so enough of that.
It's just a regular death.
It's just a regular death match. So anyhow,
I grew up in Pittsburgh. You don't want to know the rules of a Pittsburgh death match.
it sounds like a really bad wrestling
It
promo,
doesn't it?
It's like there's like barbed
I used
wire
to love
involved.
that. Love watching that on MTV.
Sure.
Anyway, so we've got
Wrestling on
Roxon
MTV.
play.
What?
I think he's talking about celebrity death match.
Right. Curling. Right, curling. I forget. Here, let's see what's going on. There's a Yellowstone in the house. Who's throwing yellow? I don't actually know. Yes, I do.
It's Michael Fry for Team
It
Blue
is
and
Michael
Orange.
Fry for Team Blue and Orange.
Team Blue and Orange and Yellow tonight.
Yes, Blue and Orange throwing yellow because that's a thing. John Zawinski is the lead for Stones of Steel, the team throwing the Red Stones from Pittsburgh.
I feel like Stones of Steel would not be a very good curling game.
Finish it.
Well,
maybe? I don't know. You probably know more about that.
I mean, you use a stone slider. So some people use steel sliders, so I would guess the coefficient of friction would be pretty low. So it might actually work.
There are places that use curling irons instead of stones.
Really?
Or at
Yeah,
least
actually, that's true.
maybe used to.
Actually, still do. There's a whole different curling-like game played in Germany where instead of stones like this, they have steel things that have large handles, and you stand and you push them.
That sounds so German.
I know, right? The only reason I know this is because they featured it on The Amazing Race, I don't know, like 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Which is where I learned all of my fine European culture.
I mean,
it's a good
if
place
you
as any.
can't see it on CBS, where can you see it?
Exactly. Meanwhile,
Another nice draw.
another
Great
nice
wave.
draw by Michael Fry puts two in the house.
That's wide open, though.
It is very wide open. But the shot, well, actually, no, that shot. The number 2 stone on the center line is behind a guard.
Yes, yeah. Second shot is
And there is another red guard, a shallow 3, deep, mid 3, something like that.
it looks about a foot and a half off.
Yeah, something like that. About a foot and a half off the center line to the left, our left, and the viewer's left. Sean Mazurski being asked to remove one of those yellow stones. However, I think he's going to fail to do so because I think he's going to slide by wide. Yes, he did.
Just a bit, though.
He was having that problem when we played him on Thursday too.
Just a little bit wider.
A little bit wider. Yeah, his hits are not crisp.
If you on this ice, I've noticed like if you have a nice clean release, it'll come back. But if you put the rock out, it just floats,
it doesn't come back at all. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've played at some other clubs like that too, where a combination of just the speed of the ice and sometimes it's a little straight, and it's just very unforgiving of mistakes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A little flip on the release will cause your stone to just continue in a straight line.
All right, Mike Kriz throwing his first stone of the game. I believe he was being asked to provide guard cover on the outside.
This rock looks like it's still going out too.
A little bit. It has topped out. It's starting to come back now.
They're going to bring it along.
And they got to work it hard. But if they keep working it, they'll get a corner at least cover.
They do have about
the outer quarter. Yeah, I'll give you the outer quarter. Oh yeah, you can see the hack,
entire thing from the hack. Yeah.
But you can't get there on an intern line.
You'd have to come off the center line.
Hey, by the way, we got a chat going on this thing. There's 20 of you out there, so why not some of you type things? Because if you're involved in the broadcast, it makes it a lot easier for us to make bad jokes about doctors like we were doing last draw. To the best of my knowledge, there are no members of the medical community in this draw. I could, however, be wrong.
But if you want bad jokes, I'm your guy.
Oh yeah, last draw we had Dr. Rick Balala, and pretty much every shot he was calling, we came up with some sort of medical reason for him to call it. He was prescribing guards and taking 2 and calling you in the morning when he had 2 in the house. It was
and I believe that he was a rather personal kind of a doctor.
Yes.
Yeah, we went over that. He was a gynecologist.
Yeah, we went there.
Well, we didn't quite go there, but
it's curling, of course.
Line's good. Line. It's got a curl.
So let me put it this way, folks. If you don't start typing in the chat, I'm going to assume that you are not the same 20 people who were in the last draw. So I'm going to go through the thing about all the bond spiels again. I'll do it. I'll do it, and I won't feel bad about it.
Don't make him do it.
I got notes.
Test him.
I think you actually did it twice last draw.
I did. I got notes right here. I'll do it again.
Let's try draw round.
Looks like they're playing a draw here.
Yeah, it does in fact look like they're trying to draw, which I'm not sure I want to do. Well,
I don't know what else you can do here. You can probably see.
I think you can get to that top to the yellow on the center line without too much trouble. You might be able to catch the other one on the way back. I don't know what good that does.
I think you can actually get to shot rock on the draw on the other side of the sheet. If you play the out
the
shot rock.
That's an out turn? Yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always have to do the elbow thing.
I curl with a stick. I don't know.
You really don't have an in turn and an out turn.
No, I got a shove turn.
Works, though, right?
It's still the same definitions.
No, because actually, if you're curling with a stick and you move your elbow, you screwed up. It's just a wrist. It's a wrist flip.
But
it's the direction your elbow turns.
My elbow's not turning. See, my elbow's not moving in the slightest.
Well, maybe there's your problem.
Oh yeah.
We're sitting 2, so draw.
Shade starring Mike Sell.
All right.
It's all right. I'm not curling with a stick next year. Hopefully, maybe.
We're very excited for that.
I'm not.
Yeah, you should be. You'll love it.
Talk to me after the surgery. But then I might be excited. Right now, I'm trepidatious.
And that is your $10 word. For the
It
evening,
was
folks. Trepidatious.
Trepidatious. Henrique being asked to in off the outside stone there, which would put a third in the scoring zone.
You'd almost rather just draw. I'm not sure why you do the in off.
Maybe it is a draw because I mean it is kind of it's not really hit weight, so it must be. It actually was a draw, but
well, it is neither in nor off.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, that was not the result that was.
That was not the plan.
Well, he and
I'm willing to bet that was not what he asked for.
And I'm the skip.
All right, let's come take this. We'll see if we can double it. Why not?
The other weird thing is it says we've been chatting with 20 people for the past 4 hours.
the number has floated around 20 for 3 draws now. I would say it peaked at about 23 and bottomed out at about 18.
I was on the 315, 245 draw, and it was at 19 then. So.
It's good to know we have a dedicated group. All right, we actually have the real Melinda Ruzicka Carlson.
Oh,
or do we? Or do we
She
have
says
Mark?
It's her.
Well, do we have Mark just?
Exactly. It could be a convincing lie.
We won't ask her for proof of ID, though.
I would say I would ask something that only Melinda would know that Mark wouldn't, but I don't think I know any of those things.
Yeah.
Okay, Melinda, if you're really you, what were you writing notes on during the last draw?
Nice hit there to open that up. Maybe they wanted to
It got one,
run that back.
and it got one out of the way.
This way.
It got one. It got the second shot stone out of the house. So, you know.
So, yeah, red making the situation slightly better. I say red. I should use the names. The Stones of Steel.
Stones of Steel. Okay, Melinda has successfully passed the authentication test. So the two-factor authentication has been passed because that is the correct answer.
A napkin.
Line's good.
We're not sure why she was writing her notes on a napkin
Because
we had
it's what was
plenty of
over
paper
here.
available. She could have asked. I had 7 pieces of paper.
Go.
Alan does have a sheaf happening in front of him. There are a lot of rocks in play on sheet D.
There are a lot of rocks in play on sheet D. Are any rocks on sheet D not in play? Yes, there's one behind the house.
One yellow rock out.
And that stone is
That's not the hammer.
chipping something in. I gotta know. I gotta know.
Oh, very
Red's got
close.
one in the back 4 apparently. Okay, now I know.
So there's so much curling action, we have to just keep tabs on all of it. We keep getting distracted.
A remote. My kingdom for a remote.
So the remote for that box is a broom.
Yeah, I know. I don't have a broom hand.
You're a broom.
Your face is a broom.
Oh my God, you're right. Your mom's face is a broom. Alan is giving us a look.
All of a sudden, I feel like I haven't been drinking enough.
Kids these days.
I know.
They say the
Kids.
darkest
I'm 20 years older than you are.
No, you're
So
not.
you could refer to us
I
as
might
kids.
be.
I'm 40.
Okay, I'm 6 years older than you are.
26.
You aren't 40.
I turned 40 in September.
I demand ID.
Ladies and gentlemen, like our
Like
like
Melinda.
Melinda, I've got second factor authentication happening.
That's not a real driver's license.
It's literally called a real ID.
District of Columbia. That's not even a state.
You're not a state.
That's true. I'm not. Where's the date of birth on this thing? There it is.
Who knows?
1977. Okay, you're right. All right. You don't look 40.
Well,
Congratulations.
I think we gotta put
It's
one.
For those of us that are 46, it looks like we're 80.
Yeah. Which way?
So yellow has the
From here?
stone straddling the 4-foot, 8-foot boundary.
Okay.
see all of it from the inside.
Yeah, you can see all of it from the inside.
Maybe not all of it, but at least 3/4 of it.
Red has one behind a couple of cover stones over in the edge, 12 on the left. Left. And they've also got one just barely hanging on to the edge of the house over on the right.
It's interesting they're coming.
What they
this
don't
way.
have is hammer, so yeah. Bob Purcell throwing his final stone of the end? No,
first.
throwing his
It's his first
Draw
stone.
lighting, yeah,
Wait,
you
or
can
does
do
Bob
great.
Purcell have hammer? Bob Purcell does have hammer.
Bob has hammer, yeah.
Bob does have
Center
hammer.
line.
So it's interesting he's coming this way. Maybe he's
Oh,
trying
it's
to
because
draw
Bob
in.
Purcell was yellow. Never
On the
mind.
Chris
Yeah.
side.
Is this just a straight draw? Well, yeah, that broom has to be, right? There's no other possibility.
I don't. I
Do I
mean,
want-
maybe
I
it would
wanna
be
be
a
on your
guard
side,
if he
right?
doesn't think it's going to curl very far. But
But why guard?
why would you
Bury
guard that?
behind
Yeah.
the
So,
other?
I mean,
The only way you're going to get 2 is if you draw here.
What?
yeah. I mean, I could see a scoring guard. I mean, I could see, like full 12-foot, just like an inch deeper than that other one or something.
Still think I
But-
want more ice.
You can get behind. There's 2 red guards that are.
Well, they're talking about it. They're
Yeah.
actually
Really
asking
lined
for
up.
more ice on it, strangely enough.
Well, we have a lot.
But then we've got 4 full sheets and we're only using 2s. I kind of think he's throwing the guard here.
I'm not going to ask why the stone that was just thrown on sheet D was thrown way the heck out there.
They probably expected
I
either
guess-
that or he just wanted to like.
I was going to say it may have been the only option. So something happened on D. What that something was, don't know. We'll tell you when they update a score. It'll be shortly.
This is gonna just miss that top row.
But it's not going to
Nope,
be.
it's not.
Actually, it's going to jam up. But that's okay because it might actually, if it stops soon.
The second shot. Yes, it will be second shot.
Yeah, that's a way to get to second shot.
Probably not the called way, but it works.
Well, on the other hand, at the weight he threw, unless he seriously misthrew that was about the only way it was gonna stop.
Yeah, that was probably a hack weight or bumper weight shot.
Unless he was planning on like hitting the red into his yellow or something, but that would have been
That would have been way more.
that would have been way more complicated than it needed to
necessary,
be.
Yeah.
So anyhow, the Stones of Steel skip Ray Aceta.
In some fabulous pants.
In some did he bring out the pants? He did bring out the pants. I'm kind of disappointed he didn't bring the pants for Thursday. Because he was saving them for today.
A lot of throat clearing.
Has the broom? Is he just drawing to the current shot stone? Is he trying to outdraw the? Can't outdraw the current
maybe
shot stone.
corner on the shot stone?
Maybe a sort of light hit, heavy draw onto the shot stone?
I mean, the inner corner of it's very much open, so I guess.
You can probably see about 3/4 of that rock. That's not curling a
But
whole
that's
lot.
not moving. He was a little wide on the release, I think, and I think he's a little heavy for the job. It's coming now, but I think it's too little too late.
Yeah, he may just take that undercover, which would be...
But he is going to wreck
Oh.
on the back one,
That's
so
a lucky
that at
jam.
least makes it so it's not going to be yellow for 3. What does this mean?
What's that?
That's just the video buffering on our
Okay.
end. It's just our connection to the website.
Okay.
Oh, buffering. But it's now real difficult to get to shot rock. It's going to be...
Buffering a lot.
Yeah, earlier it completely dropped, and no one else lost the connection. It's just us. I think it's just people on our Wi-Fi here at the club.
Take the shot.
Here, I'll be nice. I'll give up my bandwidth. I'm not using it yet. All right, Bob Purcell getting ready to throw. Is it the hammer? It is the hammer.
This is a draw for 2.
He is currently sitting 1. He's looking for a draw for 2. Enrique Kempenik, his vice, has the brush out at the edge of the 8-foot.
He's got the entire
Curling
4
from
foot
the
and
right
a
to
little,
left.
bit of backing. Still,
Yes. This
it's never an easy.
feels a little heavy. It may not bend as much as he wants it
looks
to.
a little wide.
Curl.
Although it's starting to cut now. He's
Well, you
past
heard
the
him tell it
top
to curl. I think that was all he
guard,
needed to do.
But he did chip off a thing up front. It's not going to roll in enough.
Yeah, it
So
got to third shot, but that's
yeah,
not good
third
enough
shot doesn't help when the second shot is from the other team. So Bob Purcell only takes 1 with the hammer. Goes up 1-0.
better than being down 1-0.
Better than being down 1-0.
A lot of throat clearing on sheet here.
There's much throat clearing.
Hey, it's pretty dry out there.
It is. It's also very warm. I'm
As
actually
we-
surprised Bob is still sporting the coat. 'cause
As we
It's
turn
down.
the ends over, here is that team list or team lineup for Team Purcell as they get ready to throw. The lead will be Michael Fry. Second was Mike Kriz. The vice, as we just saw, was Enrique Kempenich. And, of course, the skip, the man himself, Bob Purcell.
There were a lot of verb tenses happening though, so. There was a future, there was a past, there was a present.
Well, we've got a lot of game to cover.
That's
We've
fair.
had some already happen, and we've got 7 more ends to play.
You have got
well,
me there.
assuming that the game doesn't end early or run long.
We have N
Approximately
N more ends.
7 more ends. We are scheduled for 7 rounds, but like any good fight, it could end early.
There could be a TK.
Unlike, however, it could go long.
True. I've never seen a UFC fight have overtime. I think that should be a thing.
It should be a thing. Definitely should be a thing.
How would you determine what the tie was?
Equal. Both fighters have an equal amount of blood on the canvas.
I
don't
mean,
know.
I guess you could,
Just like
instead of
collecting
going to the
judges.
judges' scorecards, you just keep going.
Yeah, because there's no way that could end badly.
Well, of
Oh,
course there's ways
sorry.
it could end badly. That's why people watch.
Oh, right.
Next to it. If you bump it, that's all right. We'll try for a nice tight guard.
All right, what are we doing? We're curling, that's right. And we are going to attempt to take out a stone that's in the top 12. But we're not doing it with that stone, so that must have been a draw instead of the takeout that I thought it was going to be.
Same broom, by the way. This is clearly, this is maybe even a guard.
No, it's in the
No,
house.
it's in the house,
It's in
yeah.
the house. It's in the house.
In the house.
It's full 12, possibly biting 8. Actually,
Almost
it's full
T-line.
8, possibly biting T. My depth perception skills are not so good. Maybe I should cancel the stomach surgery and get LASIK instead.
Just touching the T.
do
Maybe you
both
can
at
do
the same
both.
time.
Yeah.
I could do both at the same time. I don't want to know how they would do that.
I mean, lasers. Just lasers everywhere.
They're not using lasers on my
Lasers and
stomach surgery.
staples.
No.
No. Lasers and sleeves.
No, but your eyes will be in the room while they're performing it, though.
Well, actually, it might be easier if they're not. I don't know.
They should not detach your head while you're in
Hey,
for some surgery.
Might be easier.
This
Bob
is a
Purcell
hit.
is definitely playing. This is a hit, and he's going to get it as a hit. It's going to be a nose hit. And actually, it's slightly outside.
Yeah.
Stone goes outside. Purcell's lying, too.
Complicated way of getting that hit.
What was so complicated about it? He just threw a stone and hit a stone. That's about as simple as it goes, really.
I usually play the out turns on this.
Yeah, well, you're funny.
I am funny. I'm hilarious.
Speaking of fun, Columbus Day weekend, October 6 to 8, 2017, is going to be the first ever that we know of. LGBTQ and friends-friendly Bonspiel held in the United States. We know for certain it's the first one held in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. 16-team open Bonspiel. Single registrants will be accepted. We do not promise to get you a date, but we do promise to get you a team. On June 1st, check the website, www.curlcd.org for more information. Or if you have an idea for a fancy name for the fancy Bonspiel. Awesome.
Lots of fancy pants going on.
Flamboyant pants are, as always, optional, but highly recommended.
Well, pants is a general rule will be optional.
And it's light. Whoa,
That's true, because
whoa.
kilts are
It's not
long.
curling.
Wow. Or, I mean,
It's not curling
I'm-
at all. Wow.
I'm pretty sure some sort of underbody coverage is going to be required during the Bonspiel. If only because would you really want to risk falling without that? That would hurt.
And in general, it's just really cold in there.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's not that cold in there today, but
I mean, it was almost 50 earlier. I'm afraid of the kind of.
It's still 43.2.
Afraid of the kind of detritus that might end up on the ice.
Yeah. See, I'm thinking pants or something is probably appropriate.
Just generally is appropriate.
Although apparently we have a vote from the peanut gallery for no pants.
I mean, pants off, dance off, except the pants off, curl off.
See, I'm sorry. I'm insisting on pants, or at least.
so the pants off dance up could be like a side event at the Bonspiel.
I'm pretty sure that's going to be someone's evening plans. At some point.
So that's actually really nice.
Pretty good shot, yeah. I don't think it's what it's called, but it's a nice result.
TJ Kasser says the LED shoes beat the flamboyant pants, which
So who says you can't have both?
That's a good point.
Or is there a point at which it's
I believe
too
the
much?
WCF
I think
says
we
you
go
can't have
normal
both.
this time.
I believe you're not allowed to have.
I
LED
actually
shoes.
am a certified level 2 official, and there is nothing in the rules saying saying anything about the contents of your shoes other than that they cannot unduly damage the ice surface.
Can they not be electronic?
Doesn't say anything about it.
I was told earlier they couldn't be electronic.
If the electrics cause the ice surface to be heated, you have a problem.
Yeah, hard.
But you can't.
I think if you had heated shoes, you would be having a problem anyway.
They'd be pretty
Well, no,
slippery.
there actually were people who had like hot pads and stuff in their shoes because particularly when you're an
Your toes
official,
are cold.
your toes get cold when you're
Yeah.
standing out there for 6 hours.
Well, and I'd also heard a story of a player who got caught with one of those hot pads in his broom head.
Yes.
Because he was playing on a televised game, and there was a
Yeah.
shot of him standing on the side holding his broom up, and you could see his broom steaming. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a nice removal of that rock here by
It was,
Purcell's
yeah.
team.
Oh yeah. By the way, there's curling
there's
going on.
going on.
So this is a freeze attempt, but
Looks
it's
a little
wide
heavy.
and a little heavy. And wide and heavy are two things that you do not want to hear when you're trying to freeze. Through the house.
Ryan said it looks
I like drawing
disappointed.
behind. And if you're up here, that's
So
fine too, I
Mr.
think.
Kempenick,
So T-line.
one of
We're
whose
also
sons,
looking for the
one of
results
whose sons made the A event final earlier today. The other one went to the semifinals. Or
Convenient
one of the
when
other
the two of
ones.
them were playing each other. So
Yeah,
one
well,
of them was guaranteed. to,
yeah, well, true. It's just a question of which one did he like best, I guess. is being asked.
I'm sure he loves them equally.
Is being asked to draw into the house because Bob Purcell would like to put a third one up.
Yes. Where is it? 5?
And Mr. Aceta would like a beer.
He would like a drink.
A drink of some sort.
This rock is curling a bunch.
This raw is curling a bunch. I think he's going to wreck on his top 12 one, but he might chip in. Actually, he didn't wreck on it. He just kind of nudged it in and nudged over, and he's cuddling the center line.
It was one of those wrecks that happens at a very low mile an hour.
Yeah.
So like the bumper is kind of like dinged, but not really covered.
Yeah, exactly. And the stone is just cuddling the center line.
Cuddling, I like
Cuddling.
That. It is cuddling the center line. This rock looks at.
So this is.
This is not going to cuddle anything.
No. Well, she slid a bit wide.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this is not Brandon Hogue or Sean. I'm not actually sure. Oh, yeah. Oh,
This is Jackie
this
Temple.
is Jackie Temple. That's right. I have the correct line up here, not on the sheet up there.
She just pushed it a little bit wide. And it's gonna
Yeah,
hang a
but
bit,
it actually, very nearly was perfect.
Just rolled a bit underneath that rock. If it comes a little bit less.
Yeah.
It slowed down a lot in the trip there, because the remark I made when I said it's not cuddling anything was the fact that she threw it with a pretty good amount of weight. It was clearly not a cuddly kind of shot.
Her shot was definitely not a cuddly shot. There was very little touchy feeling. Well, no, there was lots of touchy, but very little feely going on there.
With only two games going on, the ice is going to probably be a little bit slower.
The temps out there are going to drop.
Well, currently it's 43.2, which is 3 degrees cooler than it was earlier.
And the surface temp is probably going to drop unless
line's good.
It is 24.5 at the moment, apparently.
Okay, well, that's right where it needs to be, basically.
So this is looking like a draw. It's not going to bury it. Well, it might. No, it doesn't have enough weight to get far enough to bury.
The weight is real nice. It's just not. It's just wide open.
It's a really good last shot draw, but it's not the last shot. So that's a problem. All that really has to happen is the nose for 1.
Well,
he could try the double for 2, but I think that's asking too much.
Yes, for line.
But there's a whole bunch of rocks still to come.
You're holding it.
Are there? Oh, yes, there are. Never mind. This is not the hammer. It is not hammer time. You can, in fact, touch this. Nose hit. Lying one.
Shot. You might have wanted to come with a little bit less weight, a little bit better arc, try to get a little bit.
And the screwdriver has, in fact, been delivered to the ice. It may not be a screwdriver. I thought I saw the cherry that would tell me it was a screwdriver. Is it a dark instrument? It might be a dark instrument.
Normal down. All right, give me that.
You could probably ask, I'm going to assume wife or significant other. Either that or he really tips well to people who bring him drinks.
I mean, I heard a kiss and then an immediate double cough, so I assume that she's some sort of typhoid Mary. Which is probably slanderous.
A little bit. I'm sure he loves her very much and respects her in the morning and all that sort of thing.
I mean, if she brings you alcohol, what else?
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, what more do you want? Occasional food, maybe.
Food might be good. I do like food.
I could go for some occasional food. Do we have any occasional food?
I mean, it is an occasion, so.
I'm sure if we wave at the kitchen.
We have some sort of chips. I'm not really interested in chips. So, yeah.
I feel like chips on microphones.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying.
Whoa. Yeah.
So Bob Purcell's first stone, he was looking to take that red out.
He's got it.
Probably got it. What's going to happen with the shooter? A little bit of roll to the outside. Not enough to really be a problem. Well, might be a problem because that's in a zone where a double could be considered on the intern.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
I think that could be an intern.
Now I'm like trying to do the elbow rule.
Yeah, the problem is because it's coming the other way.
You could do the double there.
but
if
it's
you do
not.
that, this is the first shot, right? If you do the double, then you got both of your rocks lined up for an easy return double.
That's true.
So you probably want to roll the other way.
That's true. You have a good point there. Although he probably doesn't mind if the yellow that he takes out the other yellow on the way.
That would be fine. Yeah. But that's
Although a jam on that other yellow doesn't help at all. It's mostly probably just concerned about getting that shot stone out and getting a favorable roll.
they're sweeping hard.
Why
on
are
this
they?
one.
They're sweeping awfully hard for a stone that looks like it needs to move more, in my opinion.
It's curling a bunch.
It's curling fine.
right on the
Okay.
nose, actually.
Okay. Yeah, they would have liked a little more roll.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they were sweeping.
Okay.
Hindsight, as it turns out, is 20/20.
Yeah, I guess.
You
we
and your
forced him to
accurate
draw, right?
facts and things.
Yeah.
We live in a post-factual
You guys,
society.
did you hear? We don't do facts in this country anymore.
I mean, here would be great. So why don't you give me like
lost
left
2,
side?
we're down to 18.
I think this is left. You were like here.
Surprised it's only 2.
Yeah,
quite frankly.
not terribly surprising. Well,
Maybe
this
we
is one of them, so it's really only 17.
Potomac After Dark is just not.
Yeah, well, actually, this would be our lowest ratings. I know, right?
The stunt casting didn't work.
Okay,
We-
so
we-
we're gonna
we
try
need
to
some
hit
Nielsen
roll
families
to
online.
Chris aside.
All right, what's Bob got in mind? Bob has in mind a hit and nestle over, I guess?
I think you can just hit and nose it.
Or just a hit and hit?
Fine,
Yeah, just a hit and hit forces one, really.
yeah, and if he leaves it right there, it's a really tough draw because he's got to
Yeah.
get around that. And
Yeah.
got to bite him some more.
True, true.
I got a drink. You can ask Katie for another one. What's his name?
A little tight though.
Yeah. That's already over the center line.
He's
And
definitely rolling under.
he's going to chip that top red. And
Oh.
no, he's just
Oh,
going to
dear.
shoot the gap.
Wow.
And Henrique's going to trip over the tripping hazard
That's
for
the
extra
second
bonus
That's the
points.
second time he's tripped over that rock. You'd think
Yeah.
you'd remember.
So that leaves Rayasella sitting one.
And with a
On
pretty
the
good
hammer.
shot at 3.
Although they not look, they don't see it yet. I don't think they're looking at the center of the sheet. They're not looking at the edge where they could possibly get
Where they
their
could
three.
get the 3, yeah.
I don't know why.
Nope, they're playing the draw here. I think you could get 3 if you nose this red rock on the right.
Yeah, but that's not what they're doing.
That's not what they're doing, unless that's a really unorthodox way of getting it.
That would be-
Yeah, unless they're playing like to really just skinning it directly around the back.
that would be the weirdest way to do that I
That
had
is
ever
not
seen.
the way I would play this rock. So yes, it looks like the draw for 2.
Yeah, unless they're worried about where the third yellow is, but that they shouldn't be.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
bet.
there's no concern about that.
That just he seems like he's leaving a point on the board there. Oh, okay. One of our viewers actually has 2 people watching. So
Oh well, so
Ryan, what did I say? Did I say Ray? I did say Ray. Do you want to know why I said Ray? Because my notes are wrong. Yay, autocorrect.
oh, this one looks a bit short too.
This does look a little bit short. Yep, this is not going to be an effective draw. It is only going to be 1. So see, Ray has said Ryan would have made that shot, but Ray left it short. So
Again, he gets to 4th shot. but
the game is tied at 1 after 2 ends.
Yeah.
We average our last 2 drawings out. It should be 2.
Over on sheet D, by the way, there was a 1 point scored by the red team, which is
first end. They're in the 3rd end now, so no one knows what happened in the 2nd.
right. But we also never told anybody what happened in the first end.
Well, that's good.
Do we know which team is the red team?
No.
Yes, red team is the not Schultz team.
Oh, right.
Great. Who are they then?
Some guys.
Some guys. Oh, okay. Not technically true because there's at least 1 female on each team.
Guys is gender neutral.
Right on the broom.
So the other team, so that game is, as was mentioned earlier by Nick, it's Team Roberts. Schultz, I think, is playing
Schultz
Skip,
is
but
Skip, yeah.
right, Roberts was the point of contact. And the other team is Team Wright from Triangle.
Oh yes, of course.
And we think right is red, or do we think right?
Maybe if you're a communist.
No, I'm more concerned about what color the curling is.
Yes. Yes. Team right is playing red.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Schultz is at the other end,
Okay.
not calling this
So
particular
what that
shot
means
that is
is
a red stone.
we know for a fact that Team Right got 1 in the first. What we do not know is what happened in the second.
No, and they're about halfway through the third at this point.
We
so.
do know that both teams have thrown 3 stones, and a yellow stone is about to be thrown, which tells me that they scored, but it does not tell me how many they scored.
Infinity million.
Now it's going to be a number 8 or less, actually.
And I would think if it was
almost certainly an integer.
Gotta curl a little bit more.
And I would think if it was 8, some fanfare would have taken place
Yeah.
around that.
There might have been.
And
some,
really,
honestly.
also,
yeah.
if it
Either
were like a
7 or
5,
a
6, or
6,
7,
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
Although the war room is actually fairly subdued for 11:13 on a Saturday night. I'm kind of bummed.
Clearly, we need more alcohol. I don't know if we need more alcohol, but clearly the warm room needs more.
You don't. I don't. And I'm driving, so I don't either.
Shade.
Ooh, I screwed. I got a G, not a G2. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. Don't tell my wife.
I'm so sorry.
I hope she's not watching.
Scary thing is she was earlier. Okay, more importantly, don't tell my bariatric surgeon.
It was a mistake.
Where's the karaoke? We left the karaoke in October.
Oh dear. No, that was a mistake. Speaking of mistakes, the
Yeah.
karaoke.
It was a really good idea whose time will never come again.
That's another reason why Cuba was chosen as the country for next Embassy
What, you
Row.
think the
Cuba
Cuban-
not known for its karaoke culture.
It
Are
is
you
known
sure?
for its dancing, however, and
Yeah.
I feel like that's a real problem when it's happening. Do we have a warm room waivers?
We'll just make everyone do their dancing outside or something.
They're also known for their fine sandwiches
And their 50s American automobiles.
and their 50s American automobiles. Mostly the sandwiches.
Mostly the sandwiches.
I'm more a fan of the sort of rum cocktails, but
Also an option. I imagine we should probably be planning on stocking the bar with much rum.
There's probably going to be plenty of rum.
There's no such thing as enough
Never,
rum.
never, never,
No.
never.
But plenty.
And on the plus side, by October I'll be recovered, so I'll be able to drink it.
Excellent.
Although I'll be a really
More
cheap,
than a thimbleful.
although
at a time.
I'll be a really cheap date. I'm told.
Nothing wrong with a cheap date. I tell myself every weekend.
I'm told actually that basically one drink and I won't be able to say no.
Wow. Today in Date Rape, starring Ellen.
Exactly.
Potomac very thoroughly after dark.
Yeah. And cigars. Oh, Melinda brings up the good point. The warm room is non-smoking, so.
and I still think you're not allowed to import those. So
No, actually you are.
Oh, you are
they,
now?
They,
Okay.
they lifted that embargo. Mostly because Obama likes them, I think. Obama was the one with
He
the
does like to
embargo.
smoke things, it's true.
So, curling. Yellow has 2 stones in the house. One in the back 8 on the right side of the tee, or the center line rather, and one up at the top 12 over on the other side. The red team has one just barely touching the top 12 in front of that other 8, in front of the other yellow one. And there's a red guard guarding the outer edge of the 12-foot on the other side. So that there is your situation as it stands at the moment. Well, other than the fact that what you probably don't know is that there's a Yellowstone on its way down the sheet being asked to draw to the top of the house, but it's a little on the hefty side. It's at least in the house. It's at least at the tee. It's at least at the back 4, and that's about where it's going to stop, is back 4.
All right.
It's not a bad shot.
No.
If you're, you got the hammer.
Which they should, because
Yes.
both teams have scored 1. And
Yeah,
Yes.
they've got the hammer. It's not a bad shot for that.
all right, we got a second end update on sheet D. Would you like to know what it is?
My goodness, it is 3 yellow. That was
Yes.
3
The
for,
Roberts rink.
Team Roberts.
The Roberts rink took 3. 3-1. Roberts over right.
That rock was probably intended as a freeze. It was just a bit heavy.
Like right on the 8-foot, right off center.
And you can hear Bob asking or telling what he'd like his team to
But
do.
basically the same thing.
You like a repeat of the last shot, basically.
Basically. Maybe leave it a bit shorter.
I said basically the same shot. So basically.
It's basically.
I'll also say basically.
Basically.
We don't want you to feel left out.
Hopefully somebody on chat will type basically because that'll just make the experience
Our
complete.
viewer count is down to 13, so we're doing something wrong.
And that was, in fact, basically the same shot, slightly heavier, which just resulted. Ooh, that actually sets up the split of doom.
It's a pretty nice pocket if you
Yeah,
want to try in there.
that splits up. That splits up a pocket of doom, and actually, if you hit the pocket of doom, I think you might take the yellow in the 8-foot out on the way out.
You might get 3 if you. Sorry, you might get 3.
But
rocks
that's not what Ryan is calling for
he's
his
trying to
vice
steal.
Jackie Temple to do.
He's trying to steal, yeah?
That's true. So
you wanna
sitting in
put
that
the
pocket's not a bad idea. Yeah. So actually sitting in that pocket's a really good idea. Although she kind of hitched that delivery and shoved it a little bit.
Yeah, that is not going to come back.
That is going to be hefty.
It's gonna come a ton.
And
She might actually end up hitting this one.
No, she's in the gap.
Oh, no, she isn't. Yeah. If they'd gotten on that, they might
unless
have
she
popped
chips,
that.
actually she's going to chip that. No, she's not. Never mind.
She found that hole.
Yeah, she did in fact find the hole.
First, I have to make a shot.
That's unfortunate.
Pot 12.
I feel like if they had maybe had a better read on what the rock was doing on release, I think they could have maybe shaped that into a hit on one of those two rocks.
they
Either
probably-
pulled it
I think
out
so.
to get the outside one, or maybe tried to pull it back in to wick and maybe double or something.
So
They probably could've
Ryan,
gotten the outside
I know
rock.
Ryan only gets to skip very irregularly. We were talking about this during the 11 point game on Thursday. He doesn't get to skip very often, and they only get to play once every 2 weeks anyhow. So his in-flight recognition might be, a little raw.
Rusty.
Yeah.
Well, and Ray, that's the kind of skill that only is honed.
You
by
got to see
doing
it 100
all the
times.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah,
even-
for the people who don't know, because I've looked up stuff about the Pittsburgh Curling Club being originally from the city of Pittsburgh, they do have a very interesting league structure because they can only get ice time on Saturday nights. So, as you mentioned, they do have one league that plays every other Saturday.
Right.
They have another league that plays the other Saturdays.
Saturday, yeah.
But they have one league that they call the Vampire League. It plays every Saturday, but their draw time is something like 11 or 11:30 p.m.
You.
I would.
So you get
At
you
least
get a
this-
week, you get a game
at
every
least
week.
It's a Saturday, so you can
Wow.
sleep in on Sunday unless you have a religion that requires you to be at church at 7 o'clock in the morning or something.
I don't know why anyone would ever join one of those religions.
No, but okay. This, on the other hand, is going to sit in that pocket.
This may get them both,
It got them both.
or at least got them both moving.
Yeah, but it is effectively exposed.
You can. It's got a corner buried. It's
Yeah, but not the corner they would need to, not the corner they need to bury.
All right, let's get it then.
Yeah, yeah.
To quote Bob, let's get
Let's
it.
get it then. Getting it.
Hey, we got one of our friends back. This is 14.
That must have someone just had to refresh the page or something.
happens.
I mean, to get
Yeah.
you too excited with that hip shake.
It was buffering.
So Bob asking for a slightly downweight hit.
Yeah, you can't throw.
Yeah, you can't quite throw normal or peel at this because of how it's just a tiny little bit buried.
So
Enrique
currently-
looks like he's a bit wide.
It
here.
does look
Yep.
like he actually looks like he's a lot wide. It looks like he has found the hole.
Wow.
Yep, that's a field goal. That's good for 3 points in the NFL, but no points here. Red currently sitting one.
Not a quarter buried.
Now, Bob, I mean, yeah, we still got a lot of stones to go this end. How many stones do we have? We're on we're at first skip stone now, actually, I think,
Yes,
aren't we?
this is. We have 4 stones.
This
to
is
go.
the first skip stone.
I think you got to put up a guard here.
You know, TJ's saying he'd be willing to do a 10 or 11 p.m. league on Saturdays. Maybe that's how we solve the problem of people are complaining they can't get enough opportunities to play.
We have a midnight.
We offer a midnight Saturday league and see what
I
happens.
feel like Potomac After Dark is the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Call it the Potomac After Dark League.
Oh yeah, just web stream it, microphones on everybody.
There you go. Sure. Because there's no way that could go poorly.
I was just about to say. Thank goodness we're not regulated by the FCC.
That's true. This is the internet. There are no rules.
Basically, yeah, right on the blue sweep line here. I think the sweep line TV line here.
I actually
Yeah,
wonder how many
along those lines, there's not nearly enough curling on satellite radio. They need to add that now too.
I love curling. I feel like listening to a radio show about curling would be really boring.
that's true. Melinda does say, however, if you do the midnight curling, you have to have light-up shoes,
Oh,
which is absolutely, positively, she's right on the money there.
That's,
No question.
She's absolutely right.
Absolutely right.
She writes on napkins and is right about shoes.
Yes.
She sounds like a friend of mine.
Well, she's a friend of yours, isn't she?
She should be.
So this is actually looking like a pretty darn good potential freeze or at least draw behind cover. That stone, to put it mildly, does not suck, except that it is a little too high to be the second shot. But as a protection for the shot stone, it does not suck.
No, there really wasn't. There wasn't any really good way to guard and be second shot because of how tight it would have to be.
Amanda Marchitelli, who I'm guessing is from Pittsburgh, says that the vampires curl until the Zamboni chases them off.
I feel like that is probably a scene in one of the.
I think I saw that once in like Night of the Living Dead Part 27 or something.
Yeah, I would watch that movie.
I'm sure you would.
They said Zamboni, not zombies. It's not quite the same. Although somewhere there's probably a parody that is about Zambonis.
Vampires curl until Zamboni. Okay. Although the Zamboni chasing them off would be good too. Maybe a Zamboni driven by zombies. Yes, the zombie Zamboni.
We have come up with a new concept for a horror film. Although I guess it'd be a little bit campy for horror.
Also, some places I've been are rather touchy if you call their ice resurfacer a Zamboni because that is a brand name.
That is actually a trademark.
And if the brand that they're using is not a Zamboni brand ice resurfacer.
Wait, there's a competitor in the Zamboni space?
I don't know what the brand name is, but I know at the Prince William Ice Center, they are adamant that theirs are resurfacers and not Zambonis. And specifically, they are resurfacers that were used at the Vancouver Olympics. And so they're like laser-leveled ice resurfacers.
Our yellow back.
I do like the phrase competitor than Zamboni.
Oh, we're not all sober, Melinda.
Actually, we are, aren't we?
2/3 of us are.
Oh.
I'm sober.
Ish.
No, you're not.
I'm always this colorful. I'll admit that.
That's
half-inch
pretty
more.
true,
Actually, yeah. Okay, you got me on that point. Oh, and by the way, I am told that the Pittsburgh Curling Club is accepting donations so that they can actually have real ice. Actually, I heard that earlier. They've actually got pins that for $75 you can have for a $75 donation to their building fund, you can have a Pittsburgh building fund.
Well, and apparently they've got land picked out. And they've got
my understanding is it's happening. They're just looking to get the last little money together.
Yeah. And they've been through a couple iterations because I remember because I was been following it, and they had land picked out. I believe it was in Adams Township, and then something about that plan changed. But now they've got land actually sort of next to where they already are playing.
It's not far away.
So this stone, Bob Purcell threw it a ton. He's got his top yellow. We got some raise action going. No, well, we do, but not on a useful way.
So it's not bad. If nothing else, does he have another rock?
The guard in front of the guard got knocked out.
So
Bob's got the hammer.
So he's got a double or a run here.
Right. So if I was Ryan to set it, and I'm not, because I couldn't pull those pants off.
Sure you could.
No, I couldn't.
2-3 guard.
My legs are just not right for those pants. I would put a center guard actually just on this side, right side of the center line, about a 2, to make it so that life is very difficult to get all the way to that nice stone that he has at the back of the butt.
And that is what he's calling for.
That is almost exactly what he's calling for.
So just as a personal observation, I'll say that if he's trying to leave a guard on the right side of the center line, I think he probably wants maybe slightly more ice than this. But
I would not argue with that statement.
Then again, they are actually playing and I'm not, so I will defer to their
I played
expertise.
earlier, and I would not argue. On the plus side, apparently he threw it wide, judging from the reaction of the vice. So we know the Broomers, really? The Sweepers got on it pretty hard.
How long have you been doing this, Alan? I think he would run slightly on the left side of the center line, frankly.
Well, he's going to have it slightly on the right side of the center line.
Well, that's where he wanted it. I think that's fine. I think that's actually
that's what I called.
Yeah, that's what I would have went for. Maybe a little higher, but otherwise it's a good spot.
And it's actually over far enough that really all Bob Purcell has, he's having a really hard time getting to the nose of that red for the raised double.
And the 2 yellows are positioned just unfortunately enough that if you actually got to the red that's in the 12-foot and actually made the double with the rock on the button, they just might split onto the 2 yellows and not go out at all.
I think he's just calling the draw here. It's a really
And
tough
that's a hard draw.
because he's got to get right to the pin and not.
And actually, on this draw, that guard that was just put out would actually made that even harder.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
it has to be a little bit wider, which means he can't go very hard, which means he doesn't have to, but he's got the pin. So
He's got the pin, so he can get.
If
There
he can
is a
get there.
shot here, but
Yeah.
he's going to be very precise.
absolutely, Amanda. Hey, Amanda, if you got a link to that land, I'm sure they've got a webpage. If you got one, feel free to pop it in the chat. What the hell, we'll pimp it for you.
Yeah, and you know what? While we're shouting out clubs with fundraising initiatives, because we always do ours too. I don't think we have any at the moment, really, other than just
I mean,
we
other than
always
just give us money.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
always just
give us
love when you
money.
come by and just hand us money.
Yeah, sure.
And we get pinned our bomb spiels, where if you come to them, you give us money for that too. So
Yeah,
Sometimes they'll give you alcohol in return.
but I think with pimp the Bonspiel is enough for it.
I'll go ahead and I'll also throw out if we have any viewers from Bucks County. Bucks County is currently in a sort of capital campaign to build a warm room in their facility. They have they're a former arena club that decided to just stop converting the ice back to hockey ice after curling.
So the attempt at the draw was wide, did not get there. So we have a steal of one by the Stones of Steel. Ryan Aceta now up 2-1 after 3.
Yeah, we just
And also in the third end, we got
Another
a
three.
3 on D. Yeah, matching threes to put the right rink up 4-3 over the Roberts rink, who were on the wrong side of the 3 in the third end. Although they were on the right side of the 3 in the second end, right was on the wrong side then.
I feel like this is some sort of elocution test.
Sure.
Right, wrong, what?
Dwayne in Spain fall mainly on the plane.
There's a lot of rocks moving on that.
That was a lot of rocks. It is 11:30 and we're only in the fourth end. We're going to be here all night.
Us and we're back up to 13 viewers.
Yay! All right, first down to the fourth end, in game, in the 8-foot.
honestly, if Curling Night in America was on Saturday night at 11:30, I would DVR that constantly.
It's on Friday at 8, and I still DVR it because I don't watch it.
Yeah, I don't watch it live.
Well,
It's already an edited presentation of a game that was played 3 months ago.
That's the main reason I don't watch it, because
it's
I have a hard time watching.
Because I knew the results 3 months ago.
Yeah, I have a hard time watching recorded sports just as a thing. Like, oh, if I wanted to see like all the stats of this game, I could just look them up on ESPN or something.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing that annoys me about it is that like when they cut away for commercial, it's between like the second's first stone and the Vice's second stone. Like, why are you cutting away for that part of it?
Why are you cutting away for any of it? Show the show it all.
Do that thing that you can do with like podcasts and just have it play through at like 125% speed, and you could just compress the whole game into like an hour of TV.
Or do like they do for soccer, and picture in picture with the commercial over here, the lead stones over here. Let the lead stones be on the screen. It's cool.
Free the lead stones.
Free the leads.
They do it for car racing too.
They do. You're right. Although not every break, strangely
Not
enough.
every break.
I don't know why that is.
And they haven't gotten enough money for it, I guess.
I suppose that's probably true.
I'm guessing some sponsors just pay enough money to supersede the race.
Yeah, well, it is NASCAR. And Bob Purcell putting some heavy broom on. And just a bit outside of the house.
I
I
think
heard
that
them
might
say
be
it's a
nibbling.
biter.
I think that might be.
Or it
nibbling.
might be nibbling. I don't know.
Split the house.
We picked up on the microphone that someone said biter, so.
Bob would like to split the house.
Bob would
8
like to
foot.
split the house in the 8-foot. I hear.
You like that?
He wants to know.
Although
if he
only if Michael Fry likes it.
Either that or maybe he was imitating
Okay.
Kirk Cousins.
Really?
It's Washington. We could still talk about Kirk Cousins, can't we? Or can we not? Is he like a taboo subject?
All right.
I don't even
apparently,
follow the
it is
Redskins,
pccfundraising.dntly.com. DNTLY.
Don't leave.
That's odd. Okay. But there
Oh,
you
it's
go.
probably Donately or something, but that's their like URL shortened version.
Sure. So, but thank you, Karen Drombowski, for the update.
This was supposed to be out on the wings a bit, but it's a bit back.
Well, it is out on the wings.
It is on the wings. It's a bit back, but it's not a bad spot. They can't really remove it fairly easily.
Yeah.
There's some jams here. looks like they're trying to draw down to it, maybe get a quarter on it.
Oh, this.
Corner on it.
Yeah. And that feels heavy, and apparently it's wide, judging from the
It
broom
does look
reaction.
to be about 4 feet wide the way this
Yeah. Although it's coming now, and it's not very fast, so you know.
I think it's going to need some finish, but otherwise it's
a
pretty
freeze
nice.
2 is in the cards.
Oh, it's a real weak handle is what's going on. That's actually a real nice shot.
That's actually
and
the
it
best
reverses
weak.
right
That's
at the
actually
end.
like one of the better weak handle stones I've seen this week.
Yeah.
You know, I should have had him sweep that last little bit. I didn't know
Yeah,
I
it is
could
actually
handle
official
like
at
that.
Donately.
Oh, well, there we go.
As opposed to
Get rid of
Rightly
it.
or Bitly or
All those just URL shortened
Freakily
things, yeah.
or
Or like how Twitter
Dirtily.
also owns like t.co.
Twitterly.
Like, yeah,
Barely.
that's something else.
No, that's a different thing.
Actually, I have no idea what Barely is, and I'm not going to go find out because I'm scared to find out.
Yeah, don't
honestly.
Google it.
That's not a thing you should type
Not a
into
thing
your-
I should type into my search
Away.
bar. I got the laptop right here.
If you don't know what you're gonna find, then
Are you saying the internet is for porn?
I am told reliably. by
Okay,
musical
so that stone by who was that stone by? Was it stone by Chris? That stone was by Mike Chris. Popped the yellow onto a red. No, yes, onto a yellow. The back yellow went out. The red spun into the center line, 4 foot, just touching the button. There's a red now into back 8 foot, not quite behind the yellow, and there you go. And everything looks like it's removable, which is what
seems to be the point.
seems to be the call that Jackie Temple has been assigned. Her mission, should she choose to accept it,
That's
and she came to the spiel, so one would hope so.
That's not Jackie.
I don't think it's going to get there. It's
She's gonna
not.
get
No,
her
it's
own.
not. You're right.
That's
Yeah, Jackie's sweeping that.
You're right.
Well,
Jackie was
was
sweeping,
a
so
sweeper
therefore-
on it. She wasn't actually
Therefore,
sweeping
that
because-
must have been the other one. That must have been Sean.
John. Yes, he's just a little bit wide there. Removed his own, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I like something right here.
Bob
Top
would
12,
like something right there.
full 12, or you
Top
want to
12
come
is,
in?
or he could come in.
What would I do in this situation?
I would.
Over here?
No.
No. Yeah, like one of those first two is fine.
Yeah, he's got the hammer.
I
right?
actually would probably throw something just barely nibbling the top 12 on in front of the current shot stone. I'd be okay with a 3-guard, really.
He's got the hammer. I don't know that I want to guard here.
But I mean, that's what I mean by just barely nibbling. Because there's nothing red in play at the moment in the house, rather. So,
This one in the back, but it's not meaningful.
yeah.
All right, let's freeze it.
So he's going to try to have it swept for
Moving too
freeze.
fast for a freeze, I think.
Michael, it's a little heavy, and it's also going to over curl for a freeze. I think he's going to kind of rub off into the hole.
I have nothing to say to that phrase.
Okay, it was a poor choice of words. And we're not out of 11 viewers. All right, let's. Should we place bets on what end the last viewer gives up on? Actually, it won't because we got ours.
Enough nose to slightly this side of the nose is all right. So somewhere in here.
All right, so it is. Whoops. Okay, it is Jackie Temple now. Yes, we're all in agreement.
That
This
is
is Jackie
that is
Temple.
Jackie Temple.
Oh yes. That
Being
that's
asked to split the two that are on the 4 foot out of the 4 foot. In a perfect world, roll over to behind the yellow in the 12 foot,
And the shot is there.
and the shot's very there.
She may be a little wide.
Yep.
She is a little wide, although it is coming back nicely.
The ice has been very curly all long time.
Got the outer one.
That's not bad though.
Just take this.
That could jam.
What could jam?
For Bob, if he gets a little inside of that, that could jam on the way out.
Oh, jam on the back one? I
Yeah.
don't think it matters. It'd still be only third shot.
No, but then it's cooler.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you don't want the jam, but I mean, if it happens,
not-
It's
yeah.
It's certainly not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But jam is yummy.
Jam is yummy and has more fruit than jelly, but less fruit than preserves.
Is that how that works?
Yeah.
How does it compare to marmalade?
Marmalade, I think, is only for oranges.
Anything that has a peel. That's actually the legal definition of marmalade. It has
Anything that
peel
has
in
a
it.
peel.
It has a peel in it. No, the actual product has to have appeal. It's not just the fruit has appeal.
It's not that it is appealing.
So you can have orange jam because
Because you can take the peel out.
But if there's peel involved, it's orange marmalade.
That's a real nice takeout there, actually.
That is
Speaking
very
of
nice
peel
takeout.
involved,
Speaking
Well played,
of
sir.
peeling things.
I actually changed my mind because I thought.
Well,
the
too
don't-
late,
we
because
leave
the
ourselves
stone's already
open for
been thrown.
hours. It's too close.
Hate to break the news to you, Bob.
I mean,
Once the stones have come to rest, you don't get to change your mind
that was
anymore.
a nice hit, but I really wanted to draw.
So Jackie now being asked to, I'm pretty sure they really want the just barely cross-face duck behind cover.
Yeah, that seems like the call
Because
for
they
it.
do
The
not
indicator.
have hammer, and there's an awful lot of yellow in the house at the moment.
have we announced our third end score from C or D?
Yes,
Yes, we did. We did. We went through the whole thing about being on the right side of the wrong
Oh, that,
score.
yeah,
Yeah,
that now.
I remember now.
Is there maybe a little bit of wiki hitty sort of thing?
Nope, just the hitty, no wiki. Well, wiki, but wiki too shoddy, so okay.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Wiki
All right,
to
now we
shoddy.
roll
just
to the
shoddy.
middle.
Shoddy. Hey, we're up to 15 people. Apparently, they're into wikis to shoddy.
Wikis to shoddy is the way to go. Throughout the weekend, this side of sheet B has
This
been
actually, yeah,
pretty
this
straight.
this actually is not. Yeah, this is not a easy.
Yep.
As open shots go, this is not an easy open shot.
Well, they're on it all the way, but it looks like it's floating.
And he just brought the sweepers off. I think they're going to get the contact, but they're going to nose. Yep.
Yeah.
And so now we are down to Skippy Stones. Yes, yes.
So you've got your choice here. If you are
Sorry, I
Ryan
shouldn't have
Aceta,
put
you
them
can
on.
throw the draw if you're very confident, or you can play the hit and try to roll under if you're slightly less confident. The hit and roll under.
What am I hitting and rolling under? How am I hitting something and rolling under?
You're going to hit the shot that was just thrown and roll under the yellow card.
That would involve throwing to the outside of the sheet. That would be delicate. That would not be that.
It
Would,
would-
but
it would
but
be
it's
delicate.
also what he's calling apparently.
It would be delicate, and you'd have to throw probably hack to bumper weight rather than
Yeah,
standard
which
hit weight. Hasn't been
hasn't been his
thoroughly in
strong.
evidence
Well,
in this
yeah, it
game.
hasn't been his strong suit.
Yeah, but it is there.
Sure.
The other shot is the draw, which is difficult in its own way.
And doesn't have the advantage of at least getting rid of one of the yellows.
Exactly.
Because right now he also has the problem of he ain't got hammer and he's staring at 3 yellows.
Exactly.
So,
So
getting
giving
rid
up-
of a yellow is good.
Yeah. Giving up only 3 is better than giving up 4.
Exactly. That looks pushed. Well, the
they're
sweepers
on it
are
right
on
away,
it,
but,
so and now they're back off it. It's curling at more revolutions than the 45s I have at home. He's got the hit part and roll to third shot.
Yeah, it's still in play.
Still in play, but it's third shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're hanging
Yep.
a lot more than I want.
Bob is taking a long look at that rock.
All right,
It's
now
not
we're
entirely
here.
clear why.
Probably just figure out the line.
I don't.
Yep.
I think if I'm Bob Purcell, I ignore that rock.
Okay, let's pretend you're Bob Purcell. What are you doing, Bob?
What am I doing? That's actually a really good question.
I think I consider the draw.
I like the draw better.
I leave it high. I leave the draw high.
Yeah, you cannot be behind the tee line with that.
I'm not even. I don't even want to be in the 8 foot. I want to be top 12.
Yeah. The danger with that is that if then Ryan gets behind it, I might want to be even with the front rock
Yeah.
on
true.
the other side of the center line.
True, but
Like so if you make symmetry.
guess what? It doesn't matter because he's playing the hit.
Yeah, no.
So-
I mean, we all have very important
We
opinions.
can philosophize on this all we want, but he's throwing a hit.
He's throwing a hit. He has flung that wide. It looks-
Well, but not so wide that he doesn't want the sweepers on it. Although he took the sweepers back off it.
Yeah, I think that.
I feel like this is going to at least flash the outside. Question is, how hard is it going to hit it?
Wow. He's got it.
Okay, he's
Oh,
got it.
it's
Okay.
right on the nose, actually.
So now you're Ryan.
You have.
Bob just demonstrated the ability to throw a hit out there. So the hit out there, unless you can successfully roll under, doesn't really help.
Draw. It's a risky draw.
It's a risky draw. If you don't get perfectly buried, you get shipped out potentially for 4.
Yeah. I actually kind of like, if you can call the line right, I kind of like to hit again.
So I got a, so this is a ridiculous shot, but.
Wow. It's 11:42, so.
It's 11:42 on a Saturday night.
We're looking for ridiculous shots.
Is the triple theoretically there?
Possibly.
Or at the very least, chip the 2 on the left and roll towards to a potential freeze on the 1 on the right.
That's really flat.
I ain't saying it's a good shot. I'm just saying it might be there.
I think it might be there, but you have to hit the top yellow so thin to get the double on the left.
Yeah. I'm not, like I said, and again, we can philosophize on it all we want, but it ain't what they're calling.
Yeah, no, they're
calling.
No, and I think, like you were pointing out earlier here, just taking out any yellow stone is a good play, regardless of whether you actually roll to shot or anything like that.
But I don't feel like that's what they're doing.
This looks like the draw. Actually,
no, this is a hit on the outside one.
You're right.
Because the outside one is the shot stone of the 3.
And I hate to break it to him, but he's outside the stone. No, he's not. Never mind.
I thought he was inside the stone,
the angle
but he
deceived me.
got to it. Yeah.
So he is now shot.
He is now shot. So if Bob misses the stone, he gets the steal. So he's at least and it's on the other side of the sheet.
Yeah, that's all things considered. That's a pretty good result. They got to be shot.
Sweeping power.
Yeah, it was definitely this. That was completely the sweeping. For those of you who can't see that at home, because you can't, the Stones of Steel sweepers basically were just holding their brooms up and going, "We did that. That was us." And basically, they're correct. They did in fact do that. That was in fact them.
They kept that very straight. It looks like Bob is attempting the same maneuver.
We do actually have an update on sheet D.
We do.
There was a 1 point was hung in the 4th end. We have a 4-4 tie.
Hung by Roberts to tie it up at 4. So that game's in the 5th, knotted up like something that has been knotted up. I don't know. My metaphoric skills failed me.
I'm not sure what's knotted up.
Okay, so I am feeling optimistic on the hit. I don't know all of a sudden. No, it's good. It's good. He got it. He'll stick. He'll stick.
No, he'll stick.
I was going to say it looked like it was inside the stone to me, but the first one did too to me and hit. So
yeah,
I had a better angle on that than you did.
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
a better angle than all of us because you're sitting closest to the center of the sheet.
Yeah, I'm basically sitting on sheet C, which doesn't have a game on it, so
it's going to be really boring.
I have a really bad view of anything
lots
here.
Of sides of things.
Yeah, I really don't even have a view of sheet C. I mostly just have a view of the monitor.
And we just gave you the update on sheet D, Amanda. So hopefully you got that. If not, it's tied at 4 after 4. Okay.
Actually, let's put it in. 4.
Bob Purcell would like to put this in.
It's a good plan now that he just took a 3.
That's true, which puts him up 2. The score is 4-2. Purcell over Aceta. Team blue and orange, which I don't see any of them wearing orange. Are any of them wearing orange?
The thing Mike Chris is wearing might be some variety of orange.
I would call it a pink. I would not.
I thought it was a pink too, but.
I mean, I'll give them the blue. They very definitely got the blue.
Whatever color it is, it's kind of washing out the camera.
Yeah, well, there is that.
All right.
Corner guard.
Push the
Guard right.
Boy, my God, we got that.
3 guard off the center line. Ow, that hurt. And without any sweepers, he threw a, what the heck was that all about?
It's got the wrong handle.
That shot was wrong in so many ways. And I'm wondering at the moment where...
But now it's got the right handle, so look at that. They got a corner guard.
Maybe it was a smart call. Okay, well, I don't know about smart call, but I'm curious as to what has happened to Jackie Temple. She's currently not on the ice.
I didn't hear or see any sort of emergency happen, so I'm guessing she just stepped out for a break.
A necessary visit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, she's back.
Okay. Having missed a stone And possibly the most exciting stone of the game in terms of
what
path,
the rock
at least.
actually did, yeah.
Yeah, in terms of path.
Because it looked like it was just kind of just flung out wide with the wrong handle, but it ended
And
up
then
with the right handle
yeah.
and right where corner guard.
And
so.
then wacky ensued, yeah.
Yep.
So Bob looking to promote his guard into the house.
Whoa.
Looks like it has too much weight.
I tend to agree, although it is going to be angled, so
Oh, actually, it's going to be pretty nice.
the hit's
All right.
good. It's got to go past the tee. No, it's not. It's got to be right in there, right in the corner there.
Sweeper's back from taking a smoke break or whatever. You can't see me smiling down here, can you? Guard weight, same weight.
Dustin Devine with like what's going on this side.
Yep.
What side?
No, leave it.
So this stone is going to guard their other stone, I guess. You can guard a guard.
You can. I thought when they were calling a corner guard that they were calling the other way, but
I think
no.
they were. It just didn't happen.
I like doing the same thing. Just come on in.
Bob wants to draw behind his guard
You
in
like
front of
that
his
here?
shot
You
stone.
like-
Bob says, "Come on
Guard.
in, ever the gracious host."
Okay, guard.
Although that's not what they're doing. They're actually guarding.
Oh,
Hi, Dustin. Say hi, Dustin.
hi. Yes, we always welcome curling fans to just drop in and say hello. So there it is.
Or any other random people.
Well, I guess if you're not a curling fan, you're still welcome. But it's going to be a
Okay, so apparently Dustin is from Pittsburgh. So
sure. Why not?
I'm being told by a reliable source, specifically Karen Dabrowski. There's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is breaking out all over. It's like an infection.
I mean, I've been told that before.
That Pittsburgh was an infection.
All right, make something go away here, Sean.
An infestation, perhaps?
That's unkind. Not wrong, but unkind.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm driving at. Is I'm supposed to be offended by that, but I'm not because it's not wrong.
That's right. You're from there, aren't you?
We can't help where we're
Hey, I'm from Detroit. People cut on Detroit all you want.
Well, right, but Detroit wasn't bad when you were from there.
Oh, yeah, it was. no one had recognized it yet. So
drives that rock through the house.
Yeah. We got one yellow
Now
in the
I like
4
coming
foot,
in.
actually behind some coverage. And we got four
Yeah,
guards in
there's-
front of the house.
There's maybe an edge peeking out on the right,
Just
and
a
Chris is
tiny
left-handed,
sliver.
so maybe this is what we're going for here.
well, remember, no, Chris would have no desire to take that stone out because it's his stone.
Oh, right.
So
Line's good.
You don't know what he
Good
wants.
flight, sweep it.
it's true. I'm willing to make an assumption. Bob was asking for a draw in, but I think he's inside that. Yes, he is. He's
Yeah,
gonna.
he looks to be
If he even gets to the pile,
Guardy.
he's gonna raise something in the pile, or he's just gonna add to the
I
pile.
think he's adding to the pile. I don't think he's hard enough. That
He didn't even actually make the pile. No, he didn't.
It seems to have curled more than anyone expected. It may be that it is just really getting a little. The curlers are getting a little tired, and I think probably the ice is getting a little.
Well,
tired
and
out
the
there.
temperature in the cold room is 44.6 degrees, which is actually relatively balmy. The ice is 24.8, so actually the ice is warming up.
The ice is warming up, and the warm room is, or sorry, the shed is cooling down a little bit.
And
It
it's
was- it was-
45% humidity, which is a little high also. All of those stats brought to you by the PCC dashboard, bringing us fine information about our ice since October.
In other news, the dehumidifier is idle.
The dehumidifier idle because the humidity is down to 45%, which is actually on the low side, not
It
the
is
high
on the low
side.
side, yeah.
I only know it's on the low side because the little gauge is on the left,
It's
not
on,
the right.
It's on the
yeah.
right, yeah.
Good sweep.
Widgets. We have
Top
widgets.
12.
They're exciting.
Or
We do have widgets. Something is running, and a couple other things are okay.
Everything's okay.
Everything's okay.
This is fine. Everything is fine.
Nothing is on
Okay.
fire. It is all fine.
Top 8.
That's kind of our goal for this draw.
Fighting 8.
We have
That should be our new motto, Pittsburgh Curling Club,
Center
catch
line.
the infection.
Catch the
I like
infection.
it. Go
I
for
like
it.
that.
Feel free to send that royalty check to Alan McNeil, courtesy of the Potomac Curling Club.
Enrique being asked, I think, probably to guard this up.
Line's good.
The line's good. I'm not
I don't think the
thrilled
weight is
by the
good.
weight.
The sweepers who are very experienced.
And actually, I'm not all that thrilled by the line, to be
Really
honest.
good line.
Well, I guess,
Really
okay,
good
there's
line.
plenty.
If it has enough weight, the line is fine. Oh yeah,
It's actually, this may be freezing now.
Tappy tap.
Tappity tap.
Not much of a tap.
They can see all of this.
Yes, yes, this is completely visible. And a freshly refreshed Jackie Temple is going to be asked to make some of this go bye-bye.
Yeah, so it looks like he's asking for the nose double, but I think if you throw a little bit less weight and get a little bit on the inside, you still get both of them going and you get a little roll under.
I think you're right. And at a hack weight, I think there's enough bend for that line to be right.
Yeah. That is a lot of ice for...
Although, as she fell on that, that's inside. That's way inside. Or is it? Am I wrong?
It is inside. She may still get past
Actually,
the guard.
she's going to get this.
That was excellent.
She didn't get the
sweeping.
roll, but...
She made the double. That was excellent sweeping. She was a little tight off the...
You know, if I could make doubles like that, I'd fall down every single shot, which would actually hurt me because since I stand up,
you
that's
play
a lot
with
faller.
stick, so
Yeah.
if you're falling down making doubles,
Something has gone horribly wrong.
Yeah.
I would probably damage the ice, to say nothing of me.
You know, ice is important, but we want you to be well, Alan.
You want me to be well? Good luck with that. Let me know how that works out for you. I haven't been well since the mid-'80s. Enrique looking to hit the shot that Jackie just threw, and I think he's chipping off a guard. Yes, he is chipping off a guard. And no, not taking his other one out on the way
Just
out.
barely passing by that one.
However, the redstone is now completely exposed.
Completely exposed. But what do you do here? You almost...
I don't know what I do here. Do I have hammer? I have hammer.
He has hammer.
I have hammer, and I'm down 2.
I might draw this behind cover.
The guardy guard?
Apparently he's guardy.
He wants a guardy guard.
Really guardy
Yeah,
guard.
I might play some kind of promote or like raise on the stone that's exposed to try to shove it more undercover, but then you just leave another stone out from undercover.
Yeah.
So it's not.
It's almost touching the forefoot. So if you do a promote, you're gonna push it into the back.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if I mind if I'm confident in my ability to get a hard freeze. I don't know if I mind hard freezing on my stone because then they're not both going away.
Oh, someone's got the infection.
The Pittsburgh infection has in fact been caught by somebody. Okay, so this is gonna guardy guard unless it's longy long, in which case it might tappy tap.
A little rub and roll.
Or
over.
rubby rub and not quite roll undercover cover.
But it has the advantage they can't see the right side of that from the double.
Yeah, the double is covered. Either one is hittable, but not both at the same time.
You can do the thin
yeah,
double,
wait a minute.
but that's harder.
We're doing relatively
let's get
thick
this
double
one.
and Coggin, no?
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't if you're coming in this way, doesn't the gearing help? Doesn't the gearing work for you?
You might be able to push it off the... No, I don't think
Here
you
you
can
are.
throw the... Sorry, you can throw the thin double off the top one, right?
The gearing actually
I feel like you
might
can
take
throw-
that thin double and kick it over the top.
Okay, what's thumping?
Oh, that's
Bob
Bob
coming
Purcell
down
wearing
the
the
ice.
microphone and
Okay.
jogging.
Just in case
With
all of
2
you are wondering,
brooms. Two brooms.
that is not a vampire coming to
hit
Second
shot,
Blood.
which
That
is
is
the
Bob Purcell running
second.
down the
Or it could be the zombie Zamboni.
It could be the Zomboni.
The Zamboni. yeah.
Zamboni.
I feel like that's the name
Which
of the
is
movie.
actually a unit in the Plants vs. Zombies game.
Is it?
Yes, it comes down and it plows your
levels the-
plows. Yeah, it's a bad thing.
I have learned something today.
Yes, congratulations.
I've learned lots of things today.
Knowing is half the battle. The other half is lasers.
Yes, red lasers and blue lasers, yes. You can buy that as a shirt, like a pie chart of what is the battle. Half knowing and 25% red lasers, 25% blue lasers.
I think a significant portion has to be bad aim. There was a lot of that.
And Bob Purcell is bringing the heat.
He's bringing the noise and the funk.
I don't think he's bringing the funk with this. I think he's
He
just
may-
bringing the noise.
He may get this
He's
thin
got
double.
the top.
He may get this thin double.
He
Oh,
touches
just
the second
over.
one, but all he did was move it over.
Yeah, I think that was that.
Man, we apologize for the welcome to Potomac After Dark, ladies and gentlemen, where the skips are mic'd and probably shouldn't be.
If your children are still awake, cover their ears.
Yeah. We do have this on a 15-second delay,
but we can't hear it in time for the delay. Yeah, like
by
the time we hear it, we can't cut it out.
By the time we hear it, it's too late. Yeah.
Yeah, but I said whoa, and they stopped.
You said some other things too, Bob.
When Bob watches the playback of this, he's going to feel really bad about himself right now.
Not really.
Nah, not really. Yeah,
when I gave them the microphones, they were kind of all asking for, so what is it can we say and we can't say? And then they all started giving examples. Well, what if I say this? And I, not wanting to actually go through an exhaustive list of words we didn't want to have on the broadcast.
Just play the George Carlin routine. It's all good.
That was one of the things that someone then did on the ice. They were like, oh, so it's these words. I'm like, I'm not going to give you a typewritten list.
Yeah, because all that will do is encourage
If you say
them.
a compound word that begins with mother, it's probably forbidden.
Yeah, probably.
This is a pretty good guard.
As guards go, that's a very guardy guard.
That's a pretty nice guard, yeah.
He has hammer, though, yes?
Red does, in fact, have hammer. Red is, however, down 2.
Yeah, so I mean,
I got lots
it's a
of
great
draw,
guard,
though.
but I guess you've got a lot of the 4 foot to draw to.
Yeah.
If I change my mind.
And I mean, truthfully, he doesn't even need with the current end state. He doesn't even need the 4 foot.
Draw the 8 foot.
He's got and he's even got a chunk of the 12.
Yeah,
So
you might even now be able to hit either one of the yellows that are exposed to get back to the center. The top one isn't a bad candidate for that.
Yeah, but it's not top one.
Yeah, he doesn't need
covered.
to, right? The next rock he throws is the hammer. So
Is it? Yes, it is. Yeah, because this is Bob getting ready to throw his second Stony Stone.
Stony indeed.
Stony Stone. Which sounds like it'd be a really bad scotch.
It would be a terrible scotch.
Possibly the worst scotch ever.
Aged 2 years.
2 whole years.
In casks made of granite.
Does that even count as aging at that point?
No, at that point it's just dusting.
So hey, guess what? Something happened in the 5th end over on sheet D.
Yes. So which team is throwing the yellow rocks on sheet D?
That would be Roberts, who is now up 6-4 over Wright. Wright is on the wrong side of that game in the 6th end.
But
see, we don't need doctor puns. We can just keep making right puns.
Exactly.
That's exactly
the right pun at the wrong time. Bob, I feel like this is widey wide. Yes. Although the broomy brooms are sweepy sweeping.
Whoa.
Although not anymore. That's diving. It's coming.
So it didn't push red out of being shot, but it does cut the scoring zone down to
a lot.
The
yeah,
button.
down to not much. And if Dr. Rick was here, that's not a problem. But Dr. Rick's not here. Dr. Rick has left the building.
I think has he?
Probably.
Probably.
Likely cut him the water.
I don't see him, so I'm assuming so. So is this hammer time? This is hammer time.
Yeah, so how do you can't just quite go after the yellow because it's a little bit covered and kind of sitting on your own stone.
Yeah, I mean, if you can cross face, it's okay, but crossing face is not easy.
There's not a really good option.
Nose promote the red guard straight back. It should catch the inner corner of the yellow and ship it out.
Yeah, if you catch nose or slightly outside of nose, that's great.
No, inside of nose, you mean. Outside of nose would be a problem.
Well, and as long as you only bring back 4 weight, even if you're off, you're not going to make anything any worse for you.
Yeah.
They're looking at playing some sort of hit, which I think is a
or
really
he could, or okay, I think I can see what you were thinking about. You were talking about just raising it.
Just
I was actually talking about just blowing it straight back and using it to take the yellow out.
No, there's no reason to play a hit on this. You want to play essentially a draw here. And if you're using your own rock.
What's he? So as in curl behind and get. So he needs.
Well, I mean, I would play draw
weight.
weight.
He needs to be completely inside the red.
But I think
if you can clean draw around, that's definitely a good option as well. But
I'm not sure.
This ice is not clean draw around ice.
You may be able to wick and roll under. And
so the answer to your question, Dustin, why not just tap the red guard back to the button? is that you're running a risk of, if you get to the inside of that red guard and you push it out slightly, instead of getting rid of that red, you could pop the outside of that yellow stone in and possibly make the yellow shot. It's a dangerous shot. Risk reward, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
This is also a risky shot.
This
here
is
because
also
it looks
risky,
like
but he might get away with it if he gets past the guard. He didn't.
But
honestly, that was the best risk there because
One-
you couldn't hurt yourself there.
Yeah,
You get a
I'm not
point.
sure why they took the sweepers off, because it looked like, honestly, some harder sweeping. It
if
could
he'd
have gotten there.
If he'd gotten around, it might have still been pretty dangerous. But
Okay. But
unfortunate. But he gets his rock.
he gets his rock,
points.
so he's now down 4-3 after 5. No longer has the hammer. That's a problem. But, eh.
In the pantheon of problems, on this ice at this level, not having the hammer is not so problematic.
Oh, I don't know. I would have loved to have had the hammer in a couple ends of the spawn spiel.
Certainly true. But
Of course, not like I ever did anything useful with it. But, eh.
sometimes you just want to throw a rock into the wall.
Having hammer is
Actually, I did that to finish.
having the hammer is overrated.
That is a real mess over on sheet D.
Is it a mess over on sheet D? Oh, wow, that is a mess over on sheet
I
D.
feel like it's a real mess on sheet D has been kind of a mantra this season.
Not as much as it's a mess on sheet A, which is pretty much welcome to Potomac. Well, welcome to sheet A at Potomac Curling Club, where the lines are made up and the shots just don't matter.
I mean, unfortunately, the shots do matter, but the lines are made up.
Yeah. Well, okay, the called shot just doesn't matter? Is that better?
Like, I put this broom here, and it curled 4 feet, so I'm going to put this broom here and throw the same weight, and now it's going to curl
Draw
1
behind,
foot.
top
Oh,
4.
okay, that's a thing. Sheet A.
I don't know. My preference. I was a bigger fan of the serpentine stones.
Oh,
The game we played on A had no less than 6 stones that reversed handled not once but twice.
That sounds like a handle problem.
Line's good.
Are you saying that those of us curling with sticks have problems getting good handles on these stones? And you can if you do, because I say that.
I will say, because someone pointed out at the beginning of the season, the new rocks
are not forgiving of a weak handle at
Very
all.
sensitive.
Yeah,
to
they
handle.
really like to be cranked hard. We'll say
They like to be manhandled with the handle.
Shot.
I was playing this Bonspiel with a teammate who puts a real weak handle on, a real soft release, as they say. And my rocks, and I put a pretty decent handle on my rocks. And my rocks were curling probably 1.5 feet less than his were.
I can believe it. Maybe.
Real soft release.
All right, so
Speaking of soft release,
that was a very soft. Is there any rotation on that stone at all?
yes, it's gone about half of one rotation
Are
by
you
this
sure?
point of the sheet. Yes, it's
Okay.
pointing the other direction now.
Okay. It's okay. It's also not getting over the hog, although it is getting over the hog, but only barely.
No, it's actually going to end up like a 2-3 guard, but not necessarily where they wanted it.
Hey,
Although-
Pittsburgh folks. What are you doing November 9 to 12? I know what you're doing. You're coming to the Potomac Curling Club for the Embassy Row Bonspiel Cuba, a party in Old Havana. It's our 4th annual Embassy Row. We're doing Cuban stuff. Registration opens
We're going to play
August 9th.
dominoes and overthrow the proletariat.
Let's
No,
do that.
we're
No.
going to support the proletariat.
We'll support the proletariat.
That's right. We're going to overthrow
But actually,
the
we're not
bourgeoisie.
going to do that because fun team names are welcome, but we ask that your names avoid a reference to the Cuban refugee crisis or the Castro family. That's
Oh,
right
do
there.
we?
Yes,
Look
we
at
do
that.
right there.
Yes, just like we did this something about with the North Korean names
Oh,
for South, Embassy Row, South Korea.
But anyhow, the
So we don't want
registration
to be a target.
registration for that
What?
spiel will open in August 9th at www.curldc.org.
.org.
We should also get curldc.com because, why not? So we can go .com.
I mean, that's a whole extra $25 a year.
is it .coms are usually cheaper?
It's a team of 4 skips.
They give .coms away like
a lot of
candy.
ideas.
I like candy.
I like candy too.
I like .coms and candy.
What are you?
That was my favorite Marcy Playground song.
.coms
That
and
is a
candy.
90s reference.
Well, I couldn't figure out what
well
I knew the
played.
reference, but I was like, we didn't say the other part.
it'll be
Oh,
fun.
right, you were .coms and candy. Yeah, there. That's
Sorry. We have reached peak
Yeah,
90s.
go now. Go
They
now.
didn't have
So,
.coms in the
Very well.
90s.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did.
because that was when the
that was
.com
when
bubble
.com
was
became
happening.
a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind. Okay.
You don't remember Pets.com with the sock puppet that
No,
then became like
who
a
could
payday
forget?
lender
Yeah.
because he was broke?
Just like, what's his name? Montel Williams.
my very first IT job was only responsible because of the .com button. Bubble rather. I was in an office where the ping pong was quite awesome. The coding, a little shaky.
Look, if I had my choice, would I rather debug or ping pong?
Oh, ping pong, definitely ping pong.
Absolutely.
And that's why those companies aren't around anymore.
Yeah. Experts without an E.
There's that.
I can do that because they're no longer in business.
There was that Simpsons episode where they instead of toilet paper they had stock. I feel like that was very much the 90s.
That was the 90s. That was all about the 90s.
Yeah.
If I play in the Embassy Row, can I commentate? So generally, we will let visiting people commentate. We do actually have standards, as difficult as that may be to believe.
Do we?
We
I
do
was
have-
not informed of standards.
We have some broadcast. Well, there was an incident once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
but
if you go through the archive of like draws of Bonspiels, there is a draw that you won't find. It has been like stripped from the archive, and it has
and
been it is an
burned.
ungame.
But, however, Dustin, if you come to the Embassy Row and you play, we will let you commentate.
And if you agree to the standards.
And if you agree to standards,
which are apparently not given to you.
which is basically,
Believe me, you know when you violate them.
you can be as crazy as you want about yourself or about your co-commentators, but be nice to the people curling.
Oh, yes.
That's the big thing.
Yes, sorry. I'm sorry. That was so obvious. I thought that was unspoken.
And
Well,
if you come
yeah.
to guest commentate for like the games for other people from your club, go ahead and be mean to them too, because
Yeah,
you have to
that's
ride
fine.
home with them anyway.
Will there be cigars? Will there be cigars in the skips bags? Possibly candy cigars. We might be able to make that
Maybe
happen.
some Swisher Sweets.
Are those even remotely Cuban?
No.
Nope.
No?
No, they are not.
They are about as Cuban as Lucy Arnaz. But
So they've come into contact with a Cuban at
yeah,
some point.
exactly. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But I do think I do think we need to put candy cigars in the skips bags.
That would be fair, yeah.
Make a note. Actually, you
That
can't
was
get
a
them. Can
really
you get
nice
those anymore?
shot over on sheet D.
Can you get bubblegum cigars anymore?
I don't know.
I think you can still get. No, maybe not.
I bet you can probably get them on the internet. You can get everything on the internet.
Yeah, go to the internet.
We've seen
That's a
couple
nice pseudo double there.
That accomplished most of their goal.
They got one yellow out. They pushed the other one to the side. The shooter rolled over and guarded the other rock. So it's still like one yellow at the moment.
We know
but
that it both
but it's
go.
wide open, and they're sitting the other two.
Okay,
Yeah.
if they nose this, they both go.
They,
Yes, but that still leaves two guards for them to get right behind.
And
And
Bob
without-
is
I
not.
think we are.
Okay, Bob's just evaluating whether they're shot or not. And the answer is
they
yes.
are, yeah.
I don't know about that.
I'm.
But if you nose this and they both go, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
who
that's
shot,
a true
'cause
statement. Yeah. And yes, if they do nose this, they do both go. But nosing it is not trivial.
I think this is probably a little bit more.
This
weight
is
than Bob
not
was
going to nose it.
Yes!
Well, Bob thinks it is. I think he's
nice-
inside
oh,
nose.
oh.
He's
Well,
going to
go
roll.
roll
He's
it.
going to overroll. He's going to go out the other side. Actually, he's not going out the other side, but he is going to be just hanging on.
Just biting. A little wiggle
Actually,
around.
he's like 3/4 of the stone is on the blue.
Look.
What?
I don't know.
What?
3/4? I would say half.
I would say.
Maybe less than
All right,
half.
can we compromise on 2/3?
No.
Because from this angle, yes, I agree. That makes it look very skinny, but that makes it look very fat.
Oh. Well, it's all about finding the right angle.
So we've got the.
There's a lot of people that are like that, too. You
Funhouse
need to find the right
mirrors
photograph angle.
going
Yeah,
on here.
yeah.
There were a lot of rocks in play on sheet D, and I think it was
Something-
one yellow.
They're
but
kicking them all, and it's taking long enough to put away that maybe they'll hang a score in the meantime. But
Or
Probably
possibly not.
But
Ooh,
there
in
were.
stereo. Well played.
I mean, we got two mics.
So who's getting ready to
actually, you only have one.
who's
over
getting
here.
ready to throw a
It is
yellow?
yellow rock. So I
a
believe
yellow,
it was. I believe
but
it was
yellow
a
was
steal of
yellow
one.
through first in the sixth end, so it might have been a blank. Although
I
unlikely with
know,
that many
there were-
opening
rocks in play.
moves.
I think there were 17 rocks in play, so I don't know how they got
17
one.
rocks. That'd be a thing.
That would be a thing.
They borrowed one from sheet C. I'm pretty sure that was a steal of one on sheet D.
Okay. Which, if true, would make the score 7-4 in favor of Roberts, as Wright would be on the on the wrong side of the score, even
Right
worse. So.
would be wrong again.
Wright would still be wrong.
Here is Jackie Temple throwing what looks to be a pretty nice hit. actually.
It's although they did woe it.
Well, it's floating a bit.
It's
but
floating
I
a
think
bit,
got
but
it.
It's still all over
got,
contact.
She's
Yeah.
certainly got the hit, but
got
I
it.
think it's going to be an outside roll, if anything. Oh, yeah, it's going to be a lot of outside roll. It's going to be too much outside roll.
I think that is third
you know,
shot.
I don't even know anymore.
I think that is third shot.
It might be. I feel like it is from where I'm sitting, because I have a very good view of the redstone. It's right there for me. The Yellowstone, however, not so much. So I think the Yellowstone is inside
I was going to say the
redstone.
Yellowstone is right there for me, but then Ryan was standing right in front of me, so all I saw was
So you had a
like,
wonderful
microphone
view of the
and
man's
Argyle.
pants, didn't you? Yeah, wonderful.
They are
Argyle.
wonderful
Well,
pants.
You're not wrong. I just.
I'm not saying I am wrong.
No!
I never say I'm wrong, even when I am. Ask my vice.
Did you say vice or wife? Either way.
Either way,
probably
really.
correct.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes you do say you're wrong when you are.
Really?
I want to say you've at least once said that you were wrong about something.
Oh, that's true. And you
Maybe it waited. Maybe it took till after the fact.
Yeah.
I think that probably Mike
well,
would know.
once upon a time, I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken.
See, that's meta, everyone. And this is what happens at Potomac after that.
Exactly.
We make
Welcome to 12:15 when we're only in the sixth end.
But that does mean that all 4 teams in this draw have now
made
officially
it to Sunday.
made it to Sunday.
Yay!
They've done better than I have.
Yeah, me too.
High five.
Woo!
Oh, that was the weakest
That
high
was
five.
horrible.
There
And
we
that's
go.
why you're not in the bonds.
Because of lack of high five capability.
Do you know who likes you, Mike Sell? No one. No one likes you.
Yeah, at this moment, Mike Sell, you're the only one that likes you at this table.
I'm pretty sure the 13. Oh, now 12. I guess. Yeah. It actually counted down when I went to look at the number.
Well-timed person who left. You did very well.
That is a beautiful draw.
Congratulations, you have won 4.7 internets.
Oh.
Follow it down.
Beautiful draw. On
That was
the,
a very
Sunday.
lovely draw by, was that
What?
Jackie?
I think that was Jackie.
It would have to have been, yes.
Yeah, perfect weight.
Yeah.
Just in front of the tee line, perfectly buried.
Nicely buried.
Gorgeous
So
shot.
it's putting Bob in a let's get rid of
She's,
the guards mode.
She's crossing herself,
is
which means
behind.
that
Which means she
Jesus
didn't think she was
owes-
getting away with it, yeah.
I thought her Jesus owes her something. Is that what happened?
I believe she just had to call in a favor with Jesus to get that shot to work is basically what her implication was.
I think she curls better than that. She does have a skull on the back of her
She
neck.
actually, well, the scary thing is that's actually her uniform from the Arena National Championships this past April. I happen to know because I was officiating at that event. I saw their team play. I saw their team play crazy well. Wasn't these 4 people, but she was on the team.
Really nice peel there from Enrique.
Right, because the Arena Nationals are a gender-specific event. You have to be a guy to be the guy's event or a female to be the female's event. I don't know how they do that with the transgender policy now. That's irrelevant. We're talking curling.
I don't happen to know the world.
We're talking curling.
I do not know the USCA's position on transgender.
I actually do. At the beginning of the season, they passed a rule. You're the gender you want to be.
Well,
Is
good.
that-
That's
But you do
pretty
have-
much the way it should be.
But you do have to pick a gender, so you can't play in
can't
both
be
the
like
men's
both.
and the women's nationals because you're confused.
I feel like that's fair.
That's fair. Yeah, I'm okay.
Well, I feel like you shouldn't be able to choose whichever one you do, regardless of whether you're confused.
yeah, you have
or
to
not.
pick one. Yeah.
well, if there are segregated events, yes, you should pick one or the other.
Well,
That
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Pick
well,
one
well,
event or
well,
the
well,
other.
there are no open events. There is no open national championship. There's mixed.
There's mixed.
But even mixed, you have to go boy,
You
girl,
have to
boy,
be-
girl.
right.
In your delivery order.
Regardless. At the America's First, as far as we know.
Yes, you were, Karen. You guys,
LGBTQI.
you did fairly well, also, as I recall. I couldn't say anything at the time because I was being all official and shit. But yeah, you guys had a good time. You guys had a good event. And the best uniforms of the bunch. Because any uniform with a skull is a good uniform.
I mean, except the Raiders.
Do they have a skull?
No, it's just the guys in the stands in the black hole.
Oh,
The actual
well.
uniform doesn't have a skull.
Wait, does the logo have a skull and crossbones?
No, it's like a guy with an eye patch and the. Or no, that's the Buccaneers.
It's the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I still don't think the Raiders logo has.
I feel like the Raiders
skull.
logo has a skull.
All right, I can get
If
it.
only we had
If
if only
only-
we had magic boxes that could answer these questions.
If only I was in front of a computer.
No,
Okay, guys, we're taking the webcast offline so we can find out what the Raiders logo looks like. Yes, it's a skull with an eye patch.
It's not a skull. It's like a dude.
It's a dude with an eye patch. But you know
Fine.
what? They're all dead. Every Raiders fan is dead inside.
But there's those fans that wear all the like spiky shoulder pads and stuff, and one of them probably wears like a.
What do I
mask
care?
or
Las
something.
Vegas has a hockey team next season.
No.
Yeah, and they picked a dumb name, but they do have a hockey team.
And I am hoping to hell it'll be awesome for me if the Bruins go to Las Vegas while the World Curling Championships is there. That'd be like I would like do all of that and die happy. It'd
And
be
then
great.
like the Patriots are in town just to hang out, and you run into the Red Sox.
I think I would explode in something. I don't know what it would be.
Something we can't talk about.
Yeah,
on the website.
exactly. Yeah.
Even though it's after midnight.
It would. Yeah. I think that it would just be. Yeah, I'd be like, okay, I'm never leaving again. I'm just dying now. Thanks.
But then you die in Las Vegas. I feel like that's an unfortunate way to go.
Actually,
that could be awesome.
I'm not a Las Vegas guy.
fun trivia tidbit. I've heard that the city with the highest heart attack survival rate is Las Vegas because you're pretty much always under surveillance camera.
That is the law of unintended consequences.
And that is going to chip, and that's going to be a double.
That is probably... I don't think it is a double, right? Because the other one didn't leave.
The one on the red is out. That one over here. The one on the right-hand side. Oh, yeah, you're right.
The
The
one
other
on
one
the
did
left
play,
didn't
so it
leave.
wasn't technically a double. Okay.
But it was still a pretty cool shot.
Exactly, Dustin. Standards. See, that was the line. I went right up to it. Maybe a little over. But, you know.
Why is the caps lock is wrong on that, Dustin?
Because it's 12:18 and Dustin was busy reading something on the internet that apparently required being his
He was
caps
very
locked.
angry about it. He was incensed.
He was very angry about something. So somewhere on Facebook, Dustin Devine has made a very ugly, very angry post at somebody.
I mean, from my feed, yeah, everyone on Facebook is angry. That's just how
Well,
the
yeah,
world
well,
works now. But
okay, it's really his anger book currently.
But no one here at the Bonspiel is angry because
Or puppy book. It's either angry or puppies. Those are your only two options.
Yeah, puppies are good.
Sometimes angry puppies,
Everyone
but
likes
you know.
puppies. Wait, does everyone like puppies?
Well, apparently not the. Never mind. We won't talk about that.
This is a
There was
reference
drama. There was drama yesterday. We won't discuss it.
Drama about puppies.
Actually,
The cat.
Dustin's
stepped on
cat
the
probably doesn't like puppies.
Way to throw the cat under the bus, Dustin.
Don't throw cats under buses. That's like the worst place to throw a cat.
You're gonna throw a cat somewhere.
I can think of worse places because I mean
Fireplaces,
yeah, fireplaces,
kilns.
kiln, bad. Yeah. Off a building, that'd be a problem.
How high of a building? Because they always land on their feet.
Surprisingly enough, not actually true because if you take
Well,
if you,
yeah,
if you
there's-
take a slice of buttered toast, put it on the cat's back.
Perpetual motion. Pretty good guard here on sheet B.
Meanwhile, there have been some draws. And
Solving all the world's problems and not watching curling.
not watching curling. So Bob Purcell getting ready to throw his hammer here in the sixth end. And honestly, the Stones of Steel have presented him with a bit of a puzzlement.
You might be able to get between those guards and get to shot rock.
You think?
Not in any way that I'm comfortable with.
I
but it's
mean, don't
there.
get me wrong. I do it, but I throw with a stick and have been known for trying stupid stuff.
If I was going to go after Shot Rock, I would use that guard that they just threw. I think it's not that long of a run, and they're almost edge on edge. You need a little bit of an angle, but you don't need a ton.
I think you can get to it, and if you do it, well, it's only one. They seem to think they can.
Well,
do it
no.
too.
If they do it, if they do it and get it out, they actually sit 1, 2, 3.
No, there's the red rock on the front.
Yeah, but it's not. It's
out counting both of the yellow rocks over here.
The Red Rock is fully in the house,
okay,
and
yeah,
at
you're-
least one of those yellows isn't.
Okay, you're right. But it is definitely presenting a puzzlement.
But we do at least have two members of the team at the throwing end. A moment ago, we had none.
All right, let me get down and look at it. If not, I'll call a draw.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna
You
go
don't
down to
think
the
I
other
need to
end. We're
come
gonna
this
look at it from 120 feet away because everybody always has better vision of things from 120 feet away.
It's all about perspective.
Then
The Scoops mic was actually very useful right there.
that was.
That was.
We now have an insight into the way Bob Purcell thinks.
That is probably the most useful Skips mic I've heard at this Bonspiel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm giving you that. I will concur. So apparently he thinks it's there because he has not called a draw.
He wants a little bit more ice, but he's not playing the draw. I think the port is there. He may even be able to stick this, but he's got to throw pretty controlled
We will
weight.
know in 15.4 seconds.
Probably less than.
Well, I was counting the time for him to throw.
This is a lot of weight, though.
And it's also a very rumbly stone. Okay, he's past the top one. I think he found the hole. He found the hole. Well played, but he is going to roll out and only take his one.
I think he need. So clearly the hole was there. I think he throws a little less weight, takes a little more ice.
And actually, they're not sure that. Okay, they're looking for a second.
It's at least one. I'm guessing it's probably one, but I can't really tell the other corner of the house there.
They should clear away the rock. Well,
They've agreed.
Well, they're moving the red, so it's not going to, unless they haven't counted, now it's going to be like a 4.
They've agreed for at least one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, because Jackie was just shaking her fist in frustration as though it was like, how dare you get a second. So it might have been a 2.
Might have been a 2. I think it's just 1. But what do I know?
What do we get?
What do I know?
What do you know?
Yeah.
1. Okay, Bob, there was another useful skips mic. We heard him ask, what did we get? And we heard the response 1.
Okay.
There we go.
Do you know the way to San Jose?
I grew up there, so yes, I do.
Okay.
I would just Google Maps it.
That's basically a million years ago when I was young.
The
answer was to buy an airplane ticket and the plane gets you there.
In my day, we didn't have Google Maps. We had to use Rand McNally's, and they unfolded in the road. You never had the piece you needed, and you didn't have the little voice saying recalculating all the time. And as a result, we liked it.
And this is 1980, brought to you by Alan McNeil.
We liked it.
I mean, I'm old enough to remember that you could go to AAA and get them to print you out the map to your destination, where it was like ring bound, so it always was going up the page no matter which direction you were actually traveling.
At every turn you flipped a page, and it was awesome.
You still can.
Yes, you still can.
It's not nearly as useful, but you still can.
Most things about AAA really aren't that useful, except for the fact that you can still call them and have them do stuff to your car.
Yeah, I was going to say road
That's
service.
the only reason anyone joins AAA anymore.
And actually hotel discounts.
And if you're going abroad, you can get your international driver's license, which is only useful if you're pulled over while abroad. It's essentially it's a piece of paper that says like, oh, we promise that he's licensed in America.
Not just showing your American license?
Is that what an international driver's license is?
No, because they won't know that it's fake, right? Like, you don't know. Do you know what a German driver's license looks like? I don't.
Actually, really fun, completely
if only
unrelated.
There was a magic box that would let me show pictures of other countries' documents.
I'm not sure about your magic box.
So, completely unrelated to curling, other trivia tidbit. Apparently, British police didn't know what Polish driver's license looked like, because there were something like 650 or 1,000 citations issued under the name Prawo Jazdy, which then someone found out was just the Polish words for driver's license, because they thought that was the name on the license when they pulled the people over.
Shiny.
Mine's good. Might bury it.
Hilarious.
Go.
Don't you? I hate it when that happens.
Actually,
no, because it means you get out of the ticket. So I guess you don't really
It's a reverse Polish joke, right? In this situation,
yeah,
Polish people aren't stupid.
Okay, so Bob Purcell has 2 in the house right now. They are sort of behind each other, but they're doubleable if Ryan Aceta has the stones of steel to call the shot. See what I did there?
I see what you did there.
So Ryan is down 2?
Ryan is in fact down. No, he's down.
Yes.
He's down 2. He's down 2. He does, however, now have the hammer.
I think you can double those and sit in the house, and I think that's what you'd like to do, but he has chosen otherwise.
He looks like he's just hitting the inside. Well, no, actually, now that he's left the center line, he might be getting to the nose again, the double.
He's going to overcurl.
He's going to overcurl and miss everything.
Nothing, yeah.
You'll get nothing and like it. Okay.
You lose.
Well, he doesn't necessarily lose, but that shot.
But he does not pass go and does not collect $200.
Well, he stole fizzy lifting drink.
He lose what, Hema?
He stole fizzy lifting drink.
Do we have that here?
It's a Charlie.
I know it's a Charlie, but I was just wondering, do we in fact have fizzy lifting
drink
behind the bar?
I haven't actually looked at everything in our little gift bag. There was a thing of strawberry something. It might be fizzy lifting drink.
There's like a marble. That's a very complicated bottle of liquid.
Some weird Japanese.
It's 1226. I'm not in the mood for complicated bottles.
Yeah.
Well, don't ever go to Japan.
Yep. Gotta hold it.
Noted.
12:26.
I mean, you know, seeing as how my international travel experience is limited to Canada, and most of that's just Windsor because I used to live in Detroit. And Windsor, Ontario is really basically the United States just on the other side of the river. And
With hilarious money.
at an 18-year-old drinking age, which was lovely back when I was 18.
It was 19.
Huh?
I thought it was 19.
Not in the 80s it wasn't.
Oh.
You could go to the strip club and get hammered at 18. Ask me how I know.
It is on sheet D, barn burner. It is tied up.
Whoa, it is. Going into the 8th end, it is tied at 7. And who has the hammer? Roberts has the hammer. Wright does not have the hammer. Wright's on the wrong side of the hammer problem in the 8th.
In the meantime, here on B, a rather nice peel there.
Was a very nice peel, and Bob's telling you to put it back.
As you generally do when you get peeled.
Almost always.
If the other team doesn't want the guard there, you probably do.
Again, peel and replace.
Not this team, but yes.
That was last draw.
Yes, no, but an excellent name.
It's a very good, very topical
good
name. Yeah.
Well, I liked my name.
Two sticks in a prayer?
A stick in a prayer.
Stick in a prayer, yes.
Fun fact, it worked even better because we had a priest on the team.
I know that. That's fantastic. Curling priest. Do you know how surprised I was the first time I heard a priest swear? Blew my mind.
Priests are people too, you know.
I was surprised to learn this. I was in college.
You learned priests were people in college? Or that's when you first heard a priest swear?
It was the first time I heard a priest swear.
Oh, okay.
But like, I was just like, I imagined priests were like priesty people.
Great. Thanks, guys.
And then I
Did
went
they get
to a
over?
Catholic
Yeah, that's
university.
Apparently that got over. Okay.
That is possibly the longest guard possible in curling that hasn't hit another thing.
Yeah, there's maybe an inch or two that you could scooch that towards the hog line, but not a lot.
Fun fact, I have actually seen measurement. They actually have a tool that they use to determine if a stone has actually crossed the hog line.
It's like a T-square looking
It is exactly a T-square, yes. No, actually, it's not a T-square. A T-square is a different thing. It's the thing you used in high school geometry to do the right triangles.
Right. It's a vertical T-square basically, or a protractor kind of thing.
It's not a protractor. Those are round.
Right.
It's a triangle thing like this, and you put this part on the blue line, and if this touches the stone, it's in play.
You can use that on the center line in the back to tell if a rock has fully crossed the back line, basically.
Yes, same tool.
I wish you viewers at home could see the gesticulations that Alan was making with his.
Well, I mean, how do you do a triangle? That's square. That's a freeze frame.
This is photographed by Duran.
This is exactly.
Yes!
And now we're voguing.
And I'm completely sober.
That's your loss.
All the way!
That's a peel. May or may not have meant to be one, but it was one.
It was one. There.
You know what I mean, TJ. Shut up.
Ryan can probably see about half this rock.
I think he can see all of it, really.
About 3/4 of it, yeah.
Enough to get there. Let's put it that way.
Enough where he said, "Let's get rid of it."
Yeah. I actually think he's got enough of it to cross the face on a not quite hack hit.
Yeah, I think actually like get rid of it, sure, but you want to keep your shooter and you'd like to keep it buried.
Yeah, that's why. That's what I'm saying. Throw not quite hack, cross, just barely cross face, roll to the center line. Everybody's happy. Focus. Okay.
Well,
fine.
everybody except for
the other team.
Well, okay.
So, yeah.
Everybody on your team is focused. Okay, so according to the rule, it says when Jackie falls down, she makes the shot. This shot's got to be perfect because she just fell down.
Does look like
it looks
good.
very promising, although it's going to be outside. It's probably going to roll out.
But she will make the hit.
She does, in fact, make the hit, and it peels off, putting both stones in the proper pile. So that was very, very organized of her.
There was a minimum of entropy expended on that.
Exactly. So we now have a completely empty house.
But two guards.
But the house is empty. As Enrique is preparing.
Two very high guards.
Two very high guards. As Enrique is preparing to throw what I believe would be his second stone of the end.
Yes, it is his second stone.
Which it looks like he's being asked to draw in, which is honestly the logical
I mean,
shot
what
when
else
there's
would you
nothing
do?
in the house
Yeah.
and two guards. Yeah.
I don't think this is going to get around that high guard.
I don't think it is
pretty
either. I think
short,
it's a
actually.
perfectly placed guard, except that it was his own guard.
No, he's
No,
around,
he's
the
around
guard,
it.
Oh, okay.
But he's not in the house.
But he's
I
going,
don't
and if he gets to the house, he's going to be not under the guard anymore.
Actually,
Oh,
he is in
actually?
the house. You're right that he's not under
But
the
he's-
guard,
yeah,
though.
he's
He
wide
did.
open
He did
on
in
the
fact
left side.
overcurl. Actually, he made it all the way to the 8-foot. So you know,
So it shows what we know. Depth perception, it's dumb.
this is why we're sitting behind the table, not playing in the.
Well, I'm also
semifinals.
seeing it on like as a 3-second delay on the cameras too.
Yeah. You know what I'm hearing?
Coughing,
Yeah, no, good point. Yeah, a few people talking in the background.
chatter.
Yeah.
Here's Jackie. She's trying to
Jackie,
remove that rock. It looks
so
like.
she got to her knees. She didn't actually fall.
Didn't
It
fall
was kind of
this
a
time, so
deliberate,
it's,
and it looks like as a result of not falling, their stone is outside on the hit. It is coming back, but I don't think it's going to come back enough to make contact. I am wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
She
I guess
gets
you could
back
say
enough
she
to
sort of
make
half
contact.
fell, so she sort of half makes the shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
that
mean,
was-
she emptied the house again.
I would give that one 2 points.
It's out of the house, but it's not out of play.
So actually, at this point, as we are approaching Skip's Rocks, if you are Ryan
there?
Aceta
Okay.
and you currently have the
All right,
hammer,
so we'll do what you did.
do you start thinking about going blanking?
Right here.
I mean, I think if you're down to Skip's Rocks and you still have both remaining, I think you try to put the first one in to try to get a 2. And if for whatever reason that doesn't work out, then you maybe go to the blank. But I think as long as the 2 is still on the table, you try to take
Yeah,
it.
I think you'd rather be down 2 than down 1. Down 2 with the hammer rather than down 1 without it.
Right. But I think
Absolutely.
you go ahead and you try to put one maybe top house under one of the guards.
Top 8.
And just hope
'Cause
it,
as long as you still have 2 rocks, you can get a 2.
and hope it's still sitting there at the end,
Yeah. Well, if the other team takes it out, then you can
then you can blank.
return the favor and blank.
Right.
And if
Something
they-
about the skip dropping a deuce. I don't know. No. All right, fine.
When did I admit being wrong? Did I admit being wrong? TJ's saying I admitted being wrong. When did I do that?
Fools.
So Bob Purcell's stone is on the way. It's past the guard. Oh yeah, it's, way well
probably
past
not
the guard.
heavy is the thing.
It's definitely not heavy. It might be top 12-ish. It might be a 3.
Sure is curling at the Dickens. They've come off it. It must have just been short.
They wanted the guard.
I
that?
can't imagine why you'd want the guard.
I
don't
mean,
know
if we
why they
weren't
wanted
on,
the
if we were
guard.
still on lead rocks and not Skip's rocks, those would be 2 very nice
Those
cards.
are very nice cards, but that's especially if you're trying to steal.
It's not a terrible thing that nothing's in the house. As long as we can hold them to 1.
Yeah, Bob basically perfectly outlining his overall strategy for the end. Hold them
I-
to 1.
If only we had listened to his mic earlier, we probably would have learned something about the game.
I thought about that. Not now, though.
He's very out of breath for only having really delivered a
For
stone and
someone-
walked
for
down the
someone who
ice.
delivered a rock. He's
Yeah.
painting a lot.
See, now you're wrong, TJ. As a result of that, I am never watching this show, this live cast ever again, ever.
I don't know who TJ is, but he's done something horrible to him.
TJ, you know who TJ is?
TJ.
Kasser.
Math is hard. Let's be fair. What?
The Israeli senior curler.
Sorry, Masters level.
Masters. Okay, close enough. Whatever.
I'm sure the officials at the event wouldn't say close enough if they actually have an age cutoff.
They might.
As it turns out, rules don't work like that.
Yeah. Remember, we live in a post-fact society.
Well, but that event was in Canada, where they still, I believe, abide by some facts.
Yeah, but it's metric facts.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a
Maybe
senior.
it's something like a metric master is like an American senior.
Yeah, he's a metric senior. Yeah.
There's an exchange rate on ages in Canada?
Exact.
Yeah.
Exactly. One American year is worth 1.6 Canadian years.
This looks like a pretty good draw.
This is a pretty good draw as long as they're not over-sweeping the distance.
No,
They're
and
actually gonna
Or
hit the
wrecking
guard.
on the guard, which is also a problem.
So it did not look like a pretty good draw.
Well, it looked like one. It just wasn't.
It just wasn't. It was
Get
a
rid of it?
lie. It was a
Get
lie
rid
from
of
end
this?
to end.
It was an alternative draw.
Sad.
The Electoral College says it
I
was
don't
in the
mind
4-foot.
Because if we,
Even though it's 10 feet short.
although if we draw,
It's
I
not
mean,
as close
if
to
we
the
draw,
house as
they
the other rock,
get-
but it still
yeah,
wins.
so it's draw.
Exactly. but
remember,
somehow that's fair.
Giving up 1 is not bad.
Because Wyoming.
Yeah, it's just, anything goes wrong, we just blame Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Damn that Wyoming.
Big square.
Draw.
Big
Got a lot of
empty
people
square.
in it.
It was like 300,000 people.
All right, so
And
Bob
2
is
million cows.
Bob is planning on drawing.
I mean, I can't say anything. Like, Pennsylvania has more deer than people.
Pennsylvania has more coal than people. It's got more.
It used to have more coal than people. We burned it all. Now the coal mines are all subsiding. So if you live on top of one, you have to worry about that.
The entire state of Pennsylvania is just slowly
It's
sinking.
gradually a sinkhole, except for that one city where the mine is still there and on fire.
Centralia?
Yes. That's what I
I've
was
never
getting
been there, but I've
So
I've toured it
meanwhile,
on
over
Google.
here on sheet B, Bob is drawing.
at. It's basically a real-life Silent Hill.
More than before.
So that rock now has more than it had before he released it. Is apparently what
Or more than his first stone. I
think
think
that's
it's
probably what
actually
he
where he
meant.
was shooting for, yeah. Is he going to bite?
They are trying really hard to get there.
There.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's. pretty
And by
okay,
biting,
but-
they mean in the 8-foot.
It's biting the 8-foot.
It is completely exposed. Okay, so now you are Mr. Ryan Aceta. You have Stones of Steel. You also have the hammer, but you are down
really
2, and you
so
only
much,
have
eh?
no way of making more than 1 this end.
Was that?
I think you peel it out.
Are we on skip stones over on sheet D? Not only are we on skip stones, we are on red's final stone
Yes, we're
as
on
we
the,
speak.
the second
And-
set of
And
stones.
as it
First
sits,
one
the
on
house
the
is actually fairly simple.
Yes.
There is a yellow stone in the back 8.
8-foot,
There is a
yeah.
red stone in the top 12. Nothing else in the house.
There's a long.
There is a
long
very
guard.
long guard, but I don't think it's guarding either.
It's
of
not
those
guarding anything.
not
It's on
guarding
the
anything,
opposite side of the center line.
But
as
it
any
may
of the
make
stones in
it
the house.
difficult to reach the yellow rock.
I don't even think so. Not on a hit. I think the yellow's far enough over. Although it does apparently open a possibility for a roll, which is what the red team, which is Team Bright, is looking at the moment.
On sheet B, it looks like we're gonna get pretty much nose.
So he takes his 1. So he's going to be down 1 without the hammer
Without the hammer.
in the 8th.
He's gonna a little bit.
Our
look for
score
some guards,
is
guards.
5-4.
3K.
That was another team who was in this. No, it was shots. Never mind.
Guards. That's like
It'd be a great name for a team, though.
Guards.
That actually was a team in some Bonspiel we had. It was just guards with an exclamation point each time. Like,
Oh, that's.
Well,
that's
yeah,
clever.
but that would be going for like yelling for like
Yes,
like
that's-
security.
yes.
Whereas I'm talking like guards, so like like girls from the
Oh.
80s. Guards. This is why I'm not singer. A lot of reasons, but that's one of them.
and so there you go. Whoever said we were missing karaoke, we just had some. Ta-da!
All right, so we'll break away from the action here as the 8th end of B is getting going to just describe what's going on over on sheet D, because hey, why not?
Actually, I might as well just do this. How about
We
this?
may as well just do this. We have the technology. There's your sheet D house as we speak, as the final redstone of this end is on its way. This game is tied, so the odds are very good that this game will be over here. He's trying to, that's definitely not a hit, so he's definitely just trying to draw to it. A freeze, probably, ideally. He's drawing. Red is the shot stone.
Oh, that's a really nice draw.
That's a really nice draw.
Can he see? Paul can see.
It's
probably
hittable.
3/4 of that.
Yeah, it's hittable.
And he doesn't need to keep the shooter.
No, he doesn't. So yellow's getting ready to throw what will be the final stone of the game. There's no way this blanks. There's no possible way this blanks. So this will be the final stone of the game.
What? Okay. Okay.
Throwing through is showing a little chutzpah for only up 1. But
Yeah, and over here on B, the yellow team throwing through the house, so you haven't missed anything over there yet.
While they're only up 1,
it's like you're watching NBCSN, and we're going to cut away and not show you.
All right, the yellow stone
I
is
think when the lead rockets were through the house, I think those are fair to cut past.
all right. So the Yellowstone is on its way. It needs to be a hit.
Needs to chip that rock
Just
out.
needs to chip it out. It feels a little wide at the moment, to be honest.
He's
They
got
got
back
some
to
brim
that
on it.
too.
Never mind. It's a good hit.
Very nice.
And there it goes. Yellow actually takes 2 to officially win that
That
game.
is a
Final score 9-7. As
Win
so
for Roberts,
the Roberts rink,
Schultz team.
right?
Big
The
draw
Roberts
behind.
rink will be going on to play
What?
in the B finals against whoever
What?
it is that emerges from
True?
sheet B here. So
nice guard here.
we now have our A event final set, which is Shaw versus. I know this. Heffner. Shaw versus Heffner, and we have half of the B event set. Roberts versus the winner of the game that's currently on sheet B.
And we have the C semis and D semis.
C semis and D semis at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah,
All of the finals will
here
be
is
at
good.
noon. And then Pizza League at 4:15 for those who are interested, although we won't be webcasting that.
And
4:45.
And Sunday
Night
teams
Team
at
League,
7:15.
yes, at 7:15. Where you're playing ridiculously well in that.
I blame it all on Bob.
Could be Bob's fault.
Bob is a good killer. He makes me a better killer.
There you go. That is his job, is it not? Yes, and this is the final week of regular season action here at the Potomac Curling Club. Unless you're playing in the Wednesday League, in which case the regular season is already over. And if you're the 13th and if you're the 13th and 14th place team, then you're done, as my team was. But you know, oh well.
Well, having spent 2/3 of the season in the Senate, my team is now playing for the House Trophy.
Whoops. That's what happens when you go 0-7 in the third, or 0-6 in the third trimester.
And the first one.
Yeah, there's your problem. I'm not an expert, but that could be bad.
Yeah, no, you go 0-6, then 6-0, and then 0-6.
I believe the word for that is inconsistent.
Well, it basically says you were 0-6 in the Senate, meaning
we
you
are the
belonged in the
seventh
House.
best
Then you went undefeated in the House, meaning you're better than all the teams in the House, but not as good as any of the teams in the Senate.
So you were basically
We're the peak between the two.
Yeah,
right?
you were basically the 8th best team in the league, except that as a result of the way the scoring system works, you ended up 9th. Sorry.
C'est la vie.
Livy.
You're the gatekeepers. Basically, any team that wants to be in the Senate has to get past you.
Yeah, this have to be better than you.
Something Keymaster. I don't know what's going on.
And I'm sure all of our fans from Pittsburgh could care less about our Capital League stuff.
We're back up to 15.
And
so
TJ doesn't play in Capital League, so he doesn't care either.
This was a good weight on this shot, but it's just hanging out there.
All right. So we are on the second yellow, no, actually the third Yellowstone of the end. Can't be right.
It's coming back.
Yep.
And it's a peel out. Yep. No, it's the third stone.
Yes,
Bob
sweep.
asking for sweeping 3 feet in front of the rock he's trying to hit.
So he's got one in the 12-foot. Of course, Bob doesn't really need to score this end. Bob
No,
can
he
blank.
does not.
He's perfectly content.
But
The only team that needs to score is Stones of Steel.
Stones of Steel, and if they can get a rock buried here, they'll be in real good shape.
Then that
They've got to
helps.
get it
Yep.
dead buried.
Dead buried. It needs to be cold stone buried.
It needs to be Stones of Steel buried
It needs to be more cold stone than the creamery.
with like chocolate chips in it.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
This rock, the weight looks pretty good on this.
It kind of took a big swing,
But
I think they're
there
still
was
past.
still
but-
enough room, and so the
Yard.
big swing, all this big swing did help is bury.
That is a beautiful
That is
shot.
a nice shot.
great
That is
shot.
exactly where they wanted it to
That
be.
is perfect.
So they are right behind the guard.
That is
what
a pretty
the heck
draw.
is that?
Does it?
What are those
Bob is
stones?
lining up the run, but
What? Yeah.
you'd almost rather just throw the peel. Because
Yeah.
if you throw the run, you leave the guard, you leave your own shooter as a. I mean, it might roll to one side, but only a little bit.
Yeah. And truthfully, if you do the straight run, everything's straight. So if you do the straight run, you're just going to replace one red stone with another red stone.
I don't think
which
it'll
is-
jam.
And your yellow stone, he thinks it won't jam?
I think he's talking about if he makes the split, will one of them jam on the yellow? And that is
Oh,
unlikely,
okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, not terribly likely.
And even if it does, you might not care
That is
just
a
by moving everything that far to the
Lot
side.
of ice, though. He's calling
Yep.
for a lot of ice on that.
And he brought the sweepers on. So either
Oh,
Chris
and this
was
is
well
curling
inside.
a bunch. Look at this.
Dude,
curl.
this is not going to get what he wants
This is going to get
accomplished.
nothing.
Well,
Oh, I know what you
actually,
get
well,
about.
yeah, it's
Oh,
going to
it's
jam
gonna
on his own.
The jam he said wasn't there.
Well,
but
the
that
jam wasn't
the
there
jam.
on the actual hit, but
That was not the jam in question.
they did make a decent peel.
No, as it turns out, that's a great result.
Yeah, that's fine.
And so, yeah, Stones of Steel has to be perfect on all their guards from here on
Yeah,
out.
Yeah.
pretty much. And even then, all it takes is one beautifully executed double, and but the likelihood of throwing 4 consecutive perfect guards,
I mean,
At this level, limited.
right, right. If this were the Briar, maybe slightly higher.
Even then, I've seen him miss.
I've seen.
You don't need to miss by a lot at the Briar.
I mean,
But this ain't the Briar.
this ain't the Briar.
This is more the this is more the thistle. This is more the prickly thistle.
That's clever.
Which would be a great name for a bonspiel.
Maybe that's what we call the LGBTQ bonspiel.
Prickly thistle.
Somebody would take that the wrong way.
This is
Is
a little
not gonna get the job done.
Yeah, the weight is good, but it's not got
A little
the
bit of curl at the
line.
end, but all it did was cover. It's only covered maybe a third, maybe a third.
Oh, no,
Get rid of it.
it may even be edge on edge.
And Bob's asking Henrique to remove it.
Remove it. The difficulty is, of course, if they do remove it, then they draw behind it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way you do this, right?
Yep.
Ooh, sweepers are on it immediately, and actually Henrique does look a little tight. He might. It may actually be a perfectly placed guard.
No.
No, it is not.
Oh. You could not have gotten by that guard by any less.
I'm sure you could have on like a microscopic level.
Shot.
But
It's like right in the quantum interference
Yeah.
level, they could have probably gotten.
well,
by
yeah,
it.
but then at that point, then their two gravitational fields would interact by pulling them together because mass does attract mass.
But
So-
at the scales we're talking about, it's pretty weak.
Okay, fine.
Oh, I believe that hand gesture means you just got told.
Believe I did in fact I just got physically told about physics.
And I'm a lawyer, so
I was going to say, we actually have actual rocket scientists at this club. That
Yeah, but
could-
he ain't one of them.
No, he's not.
I'm not one of them.
I know how much rocket scientists
I can
spend.
spell rocket science.
I don't know that I can. Ryan is asking Jackie to perfectly draw behind the provided guard, and actually this is
weight
a chance
really
to get
good,
there.
but they should be sweeping this in. No,
No, they
actually,
shouldn't. They should be leaving it exactly where it is because it's perfectly behind the guard.
That is probably.
That's good enough.
Yeah,
That's
I would give that.
Another really
right?
beautiful draw from
Yeah.
from the Stones of Steel there.
I would give that 4 points.
I'd give it a 4. I mean, it's off by if it's off by less than an inch, and it's making Bob play peely.
Yep. And it's what, 6 inches heavy?
Peel it.
Yeah.
Peel it and then cough.
Why is my watch buzzing?
It's telling you to move. Probably.
Probably. What, just because I've sat in this chair for 4.5 hours?
You have been calling a lot of curling.
Oh, no, it's actually just letting me know that the 15th annual Cherry Blossom is
Yep.
live. Hey, folks, the Cherry Blossom is being webcast. Do you know that?
I wasn't
Well,
aware.
it's a live stream. Very nice peel from Enrique.
That's a very nice peel for Enrique.
Top-notch peel.
All right, so
Strong work.
now we are to Skips Rocks. We are to the gritty and the nitty. Here in the last game of Saturday, the game on B,
Or the first game of Sunday.
or the first game of Sunday, depending on how you look
the
at it.
second game of Sunday, right?
No?
Well, the two games came on simultaneously, like because midnight
Oh, yeah,
happens.
yeah,
and
yeah.
then
We're thinking about this way
So it'll be
too
the
hard.
second game to end on Sunday.
That's true.
But-
We're thinking way too hard here.
I'm getting booed by the peanut gallery over.
So it'll be the second game
And
to end
hey!
on Sunday without any games having started on Sunday.
So it is 12:50, and we
kind
have
of like how
21
Gerald
people
Ford was
in
never
chat,
elected
so
vice president or president.
we're getting
Record
more
roll for
people as
21?
this gets on to ridiculously late.
Well, I don't know what we're doing. I assume that there's like bots just
Bots just hitting us. Yeah. That's possible. All right.
I'm guessing it's kind of like how people go to like Taco Bell at 2 in the morning.
That
It's
could
just
be.
people are getting home from wherever they're going on Saturday night. They're
saying,
like,
"Let's
hey,
pick
guess
up
what?
live
Curling's
stream?"
on TV. Yeah, no,
Everyone, if you're not a bot, put in your social security number.
Unfortunately, Ryan, well, if it falls, it might get
No,
there,
it's
but
not
not
gonna.
enough to really get the job done.
He probably has. Bob probably has all that rock.
Yes. Which means Ryan will be left with drawing behind the
Drawing
now center line
behind.
guard, and then Bob
Well,
will have to hit it out.
And if Bob is on, like he can probably nose that and leave Ryan very little.
But it looked like all he's planning on doing is hitting the back one. He's not going for the nose. He's going for the quarter on the back.
That's what I'm saying. If he noses the back one,
Yeah,
then
he
he'll
should-
be
he should just
sitting exposed
Hey.
with the only shot Red will have is to take it
to
out,
take it out.
meaning they won't be able to get under the guard.
Correct.
But they could. If he rolls even the slightest little bit.
So you throw a little bit down. You try to get a little corner under the rock, which means the only way they have to do is to hit it and roll out.
Right. No, I see what you're saying. I'm just not saying. Ryan Aceta is not dead yet.
Nope. It's only a 1 point game.
Yeah, first Bob has to execute this shot.
As long as
this looks executed.
He's going to peel this out, it looks like.
What, did that pick?
Look at
that picked.
Oh, really unfortunate.
So, if he would need to play a perfect guard.
I mean, he's had to play a perfect guard 3 rocks in a row.
Well, he hasn't hit them, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
but they've been good enough.
I don't know that I would curl this way. I would curl the other way because if I over curled, I might chip off that red that I haven't rolled back to where I need to be.
Yeah.
I think I would come the other way.
I would throw
the other turn.
Just
the other turn.
Whatever turn it is.
The one that's not this.
Yes, I would throw this not this turn.
Yeah. So that turn?
Yes.
This turn, that turn, and the lesser known other turn.
It's the flip turn, right?
Yeah, the overhand turn. That's that shot from the old, I think it was like a Continental Cup, where the guy slid out, picked the stone up on its side, and rolled it.
I missed that. I never saw that.
Maybe it wasn't a Continental Cup, but it was somewhere. It was a mixed doubles game, so it was either Continental Cup
okay. If it was mixed doubles, and okay, so it's already crossing the center.
This lock
I actually think I would stop.
Well past. Yeah.
Did they burn it or did it hog? No. Okay.
No, it's just well past.
I thought I saw it speed up like they kicked it. But apparently not.
Maybe they should have.
Maybe it would help.
Time.
So it is a wide open hit. If Bob misses this shot, he's got no one to blame but himself.
Yep.
That's a lot of ice, but it is curling a lot. So, and he's played 8 ends now, and I've played 0.
Yeah, he probably feels like he knows his line. He feels like he's got line.
Well, and it's the same line he just attempted, so he knows exactly what this shot is going to do, presumably.
But the man has a
pick,
point.
So
that's true. It picked on exactly this line, so maybe it picks again.
Clean it.
Yes.
They should be cleaning this rock.
They should be cleaning this rock already. Yes, the sweeper should already be working. Are you actually allowed to sweep a stone before it's delivered?
You're the judge.
I don't know.
I think if the person's sliding out, you can sweep in front of them. Like there's no rule against that.
It's allowed. I feel like that's the rock is away.
Yeah. Now the entire
they are more than cleaning this rock.
They are sweeping it with vigor.
But it looks pretty good.
Boy, except I think they may have just picked, but not enough. Yep, that's got it. Game over.
Got it.
And
nice
with that hit, Bob Purcell, Henrique Kempenik, Mike Kriz, and Michael Fry emerge victorious with an official final score of 7-4. They will be playing against the Roberts Rink in the B finals, which will be occurring on sheet C because the B event goes on C. Hey,
yes.
Why not?
Because the A event goes on B.
I know.
Letters are hard.
All right, so it's 12:54. I'm tired.
Thank you all.
Good night, everybody.
We're tired. The players are tired. The people want to go home.
Exactly.
The jokes are tired.
Good night, everybody. Yes.
The jokes have been tired for hours. So anyhow, thanks for hanging out with us, spending way too long watching way too much curling, as if such a thing is possible. And we will see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow for some semifinals and then noon for some finals.
Someone will see you.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Okay. We in the regal sense. Good night, everybody.
Good night.